Yep. Karthi, we are live.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another show of DCL PrimeTime. It's me and VU. We're going to start off the proceedings, and then KK will join us for the analysis as well. But before we get into the analysis, we wanted to kind of touch a little bit on the DCL draft or the DCL auction, which we plan to do a simulation of sorts, where we'll bring in, we'll have three of us, me, Viju, and KK, act as the team owners, and then use the category list of players and for the teams that are going into the playoffs, or at least by I think by by the next weekend we'll know most of it. Maybe there might be a chance, maybe one or two teams might be still here and there, but I think more or less we'll be able to get it. And we are planning to do that on the 7th of September, which is the Wednesday after the long weekend. So that gives us time, because that weekend we won't be having any matches for analysis. So we'll be using this time to do the draft of the DCL. So
How is prime time picks name?
Sorry,
what is
Prime
that?
prime time what? Sorry,
Prime time pick. Pick or pick.
what is that?
Just the name for that week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we will definitely we can brainstorm that. what
Some
we want to
name.
call it. Yeah.
Draft is okay. But
So, Parthiv, let me ask you this question. The rules which I sent over to you and KK, does that look good enough? Or do we have to tweak some of them?
I haven't really looked at it in depth. Just this morning, I just skimmed through it, but I will do that this weekend.
Okay. The reason I wanted to discuss this is because otherwise it's all going to become last minute. Let
Right.
me ask you this, Satya.
Yeah.
Did you get Sanjay Elangovan to be the auctioneer? What's our status?
I'll speak
Okay.
to him. We just changed. I changed the date, right? I didn't see that it's 7th, so I'll speak to him again.
Okay, because in that document which I sent over, I specifically mentioned September 7th. The reason for that was this weekend we have a game, and once we have the weekend games, it's easiest to do the analysis right away within 3-4 days. So the next Wednesday doing analysis for this weekend's games makes sense. And then you have the following weekend where there is no games, so you can do the draft. The other thing is that, Parthiv, you selected your two people whom you wanted?
Yeah, I basically at least haven't reached out to them. So I need to do that. I'm going to try to get Smish and Vadnala on my board.
Okay.
So if either one of them declines, then I'll probably go with the next pick. I was thinking the next pick would be somebody like Jasmeet. So those are my three in that order.
Okay. The other thing which I was thinking of was that now I was going to run this by you and KK, but KK is not here, so I'll just go ahead and run it. This is the first time we are doing this draft, and obviously there will be hits and misses, and the rules which I sent over to you, they were all suddenly, I formulated those rules and sent it over, and I figured, we can change a few things here and there with regards to monetary amounts or whatever it is, or if there is something which is not clear, to make that clear. But I was wondering whether I can get one more person on my draft after you two guys finish picking this thing. The only reason I said that was because we do not know, one, if Sanjay Elangovan will be ready to do the auctioning. And if he's not ready to do, or if he's not available, then I'll probably slide into that role. And so whoever is the third person I bring in, they'll do the drafting on behalf of me. But, we need one person to actually do the actual bidding, because he's the authorized person to do the bidding, like you and KK would be doing the bidding. In my team, I would be doing the bidding. But also I felt that when we announce a player, so when the auctioneer, let's say, says a name, and let's say the name is KK, we needed to provide some color on KK so that we can bring up the energy level, as well as hey, this is what this guy's stats is. So that is something which I'll have to work with Sanjay to find out what order in which he's going to introduce the players, and then throw out some these things about this. Hey, you guys want to start increasing the bid, so some sort of a help for Sanjay, wherein he's not doing everything by himself, where he has some help to help him to increase the energy level, as well as the interest level, as well as to provide some color. So I thought if I'm going to help out with that, then again, I didn't feel that I would be able to do justice to my team, wherein I can just focus on that and this at the same time. So I thought I'll run it by you guys. If you guys were okay, then I would bring in a third person, but that is still up in the air. But first, I wanted you guys to select your teams so that I'm not picking one of the players which you guys are targeting, kind of a thing. The other thing, Partha, which I felt was, after the draft is completed, maybe we should have an expert analyst or two analysts analyze the three teams which has been selected. You get my point? And give their expert opinions on it. Like, hey, this team, I like this about it, and this is what it is.
Yeah.
And, giving a verdict. Now, that verdict would be separate from the verdict which is going to be the hardcore verdict, which is based upon points which you're going to get the following week. But again, I wanted to throw that out because this is an idea which came to me this week while I was having bath. That, hey, how about maybe we can bring in a Rashid Malik and ask him to be the expert analyst. I was thinking of Samish to bring him as an expert analyst, but if you're having him as part of your advisory team, then bring in somebody else who can do the expert analysis. And who else? Rashid is a pretty good an analyst, as well as lots of years of experience playing DCL. He may not know the latest players, but I don't think that's going to make any difference because those teams are probably not in the playoffs anyways.
Yeah, I like both the ideas. I like both the ideas. I think another thing I was going to say is, once we have the draft, we can actually, publish it on, our Facebook page and the Glad's Cricket website, so that people can, see if we can get some response.
Let me tell you something. There is no Glad's Cricket website, so that is out there. So you can post it in. I don't know. There is a DCL Facebook page. I do not know.
Right.
I'm not a Facebook expert, so I do not know.
We have Glad's Facebook page with you.
Okay, all right, fine. Wherever you want to publish it, or publish it on your personal Facebook pages, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can generate.
I'll put it in the comment down. So people who want to give their 11 also, I will take it. But the competition between you guys. So
the other thing is, Satya, you can't be waiting for the last minute. You need to get this players which you're going to offer to the three of us out.
I working with Chanakya Lokam. He is the guy who has all the scripts to run and get it. So I requested him for the top 200 players. Then I will filter with the teams alone and give it to you guys. So it will have batting and bowling stats. That's what I asked him. So he said he will do it.
And probably we need a session, a separate session to talk about the entire logistics. I think if this entire thing might just take up the whole time, the prime time, because there's other things which I want to also talk about. Is you talked about once we have the draft, I think we probably want to gather and kind of walk through it and make sure we've covered all the aspects. So
anyway, I just wanted to get the heat out to all of you guys, so that you guys are not dropping the ball, and we come on draft day and nobody knows what's going on, so that we are all on the same page is what I was trying to get at. All right, that's fine. At the same time, we are giving sufficient notice to everybody that this draft is taking place in such and such a week.
After this week games, we will get the list.
Okay, all right. Sounds good. Let's get going.
Okay. Yeah, Parthiv.
Parthiv is frozen. I think Parthiv has a worse connection than I have. I'm in India, and still I seem to have a better connection than what Parthiv has.
We can't beat Ambani.
Yeah, I don't know about Ambani. All right, okay, he's back, I think. Partha, what is the internet provider you're using? You seem to always disconnect.
I think it's the place where I sit. I think it always happens when I sit at this place. Whenever at a different place, I think it doesn't happen. So I'll have to kind of maybe change the place where I sit.
Use the router upstairs.
It works fine. My streaming Netflix is going on downstairs, so everything is working fine. The back. I don't know what is this spot in the house, maybe. All right, I'm back, and let's start with the first game of.
He's frozen again.
He's frozen again?
Yeah, he's okay.
Great. All right, so I think I'll get started on this one. Canton 11 versus Michigan Rangers. Satya, do you know anything about the 1984? Partha, I see your back. Do you know anything about the 1984 Blackwash series? Have you ever heard of that?
No.
You haven't heard of it? All right. So this is what happened. West Indies went to England and they were touring England. They played 5 tests and 3 one-day internationals. The 3 one-day internationals went in the favor of West Indies 2-1. All right. So England won 1 one-day internationals, but the 5 tests was 5-0 in favor of West Indies. That was when Clive Lloyd was the captain. You had Viv Richards, Larry Gomes, Malcolm Marshall, Michael Holding. You name it. I mean, it was a terrific team. But all 5 games was won by West Indies. Now, Malcolm Marshall at that time was a tearaway fast bowler, the fastest bowler in the world. He, at Lords, the second test was at Lords, and he ended up taking 8 wickets in that. And the English batsmen were having a very tough time playing Malcolm Marshall. The third test took place in Headingley. And on the opening day, Chris Borrard hit a terrific shot. The ball was racing to the boundary. Malcolm Marshall tried to stop it. It was a full-fledged shot. In the process of trying to stop the shot, his left thumb got fractured in 2 places. Anyways, the doctor, put it into cast. He had cast all the way up to the middle of the hand. That finger was immobilized. And so England batted first, and then West Indies were asked to bat. And what was that? The score, I think, was England scored 270. West Indies were 9 wickets down. Joel Garner got out. But here was the problem, Partha. Larry Gomes was on 96 not out, all right? And Larry Gomes started walking back to the pavilion, only to see Malcolm Marshall walk out, all right? But he can't use his left hand because it's fractured, and he's walking out. He comes out to the middle, and Satya, meanwhile, can you just make me a co-host? I wanted to show a picture, actually. In fact, I wanted to ask, do you know who this is before this thing? But anyway, so the thing is that let me see if I can share this picture. All right, so let me see if I can do. All right. Are you guys able to see this picture?
No.
Are you guys able to see this picture?
Yes, now we do.
All right. So the guy with the bat with one hand is Malcolm Marshall. All right. The reason I brought this out is because he came out because he wanted Larry Gomes to hit that century. And also West Indies had just overhauled that score and they had reached 290 for 9. He comes out and bats with one hand, and you can see the left hand. If you look at that, there is that cast there, So the thing is, he can't use the left hand. He comes out there, he hits a boundary also with that one-hand shot.
Wow.
All right, now let me see if I can go back to my. I don't know where I was, but clearly not. But all right. Well, anyway, if you guys can see me, I'll just sing. Let me continue on the story at least. You guys can see me at least, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the thing is that,
we can see a desktop.
Okay. Oh, you know what? I probably have to do the stop sharing on the desktop. All right. So
yeah,
here we go. So the thing is that Garner got out, and then Larry Gomes was on 96. He comes out there. He hits this thing there. He makes sure that West Indies goes all the way up to 310 or something like that, 302. And that's when he got out. Well, then England was thinking that was the last they saw of Malcolm Marshall, all right, because, he probably just came out to get Larry Gomes the century. Larry Gomes ended up 104 not out. And then only to see, here comes the Malcolm Marshall to bowl. And he comes and bowls. And guess what? He had figures of 7 wickets for 56 runs.
Wow.
That is the kind of a player he was, all right? And obviously, he was the man of the match in that game. But he comes out and demolishes England. Now, you will ask me why I brought that up. I brought that up because in this game, Hari Pallava did a Malcolm Marshall. Because Hari Pallava was the difference maker between Michigan Rangers and Canton 11. If you subtract Hari Pallava's extraordinary innings of 87, Canton 11 doesn't even reach 100 runs. They, the thing is that, they are only going to get to 90. Sure, Shakil Ahmed had a good innings, but that alone is not going to get it. It was that 87 runs which made all the difference. And this was a phenomenal innings. None of us saw that coming. We talked about Najid being able to hit the ball, but I never knew that Hari Pallava can hit the ball so well. And I felt that this was an opportunity for me to show some love for Hari Pallava. Because remember last year when Javed came on the show, Hari Pallava was the one who sat down and composed a few lines about each and every player on his team. So when somebody has that kind of dedication, I have only respect for that person. And this innings was a match-winning innings. And correct me if I'm not mistaken, Partha, but I think we gave him the game changer of the week, if I'm not mistaken, because it was that kind of an innings. It won his team the game. And remember, Partha, Canton 11 had to win this game and the next game in order to make the playoffs. And right now, Canton 11 can control their own destiny if they can win all their games. So
correct.
I really wanted to give that shout out and say that, probably what Javed needs to do is make a mural of Hari Pallava in Canton and every day go out there and, spruce up the place and put in Hindi, you'll say fool chadao, but basically he needs to, put up some flowers and things like that. But it was a fantastic innings by Hari Pallava. He did a Malcolm Marshall, and just like Marshall was so phenomenal, I think Hari Pallava was so phenomenal in this game. But that's about all I wanted to say on this one.
Yeah, and just to add to that, you're absolutely right. I think his innings here has propelled Canton 11 to be favorites to go through with 2 of the games remaining. Obviously we're going to talk about Canton 11 versus Hawks today, but they have he's definitely put them in the driving seat. And I think if you look at the net run rate too, Canton 11 with this big win, they are now in the positive. So there's definitely that gap between Hawks and Canton 11 in terms of run rate as well. So I think he's basically put them in a very good situation. Even if they get beaten by Hawks, there's still a chance if they can pull off maybe a bonus point with Sterling Striker. So all in all, very important and very good win for Canton 11. All right. Our next game is the Spartans versus FCC Agni. This was a game I think we are all had put up Spartans in our prediction, if I'm not mistaken. Because of their performance so far and FCC Agni's non-performance so far, I think we kind of edged towards that. But in this Spartans, I think Chanakya, I don't know whether it's I attribute some of the Spartans late performance, which has been on the decline, to I think some of the players playing too much cricket, and I see them these same folks kind of pretty much playing everywhere, and I think that does impact players in the fatigue that all comes into play. But I think in here the Spartans, I think they have only themselves to blame. Batting first, scoring just 67, and kudos to our friend Ramesh. I think he bowled lights out. 4 overs, 1 minute, 4 for 4 was just outstanding. I know we had put him as one of the contenders for the game changer of the week, but I think he definitely, for his team at least, he changed the game with that outstanding spell. And then coming to the batting, I think it was great top order batting between Rishabh and Arun and Tanmay. I think they made sure that they did not falter. So all in all, I think Spartans would be really ruining this fact that they had an opportunity and they lost a game which they should have won. Did you?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a great game by Arun Lavakumar. He did a fantastic job with both the bat as well as the ball. Because correct me if I'm wrong, Satya, I thought he had picked 3 wickets. I could be wrong, but anyways, how many wickets did Arun take? Yeah, 3 wickets. So
3 wickets.
He scored the runs. But what I like about Parthiv, about Arun, is he's a low maintenance player. He's a hard worker. He's a good cricketer. Everything which you would want, ideally, in a teammate, he provides for you. No airs about him, no demanding, I want to go this down or that down or 5 down or 2 down or 1 down or opening or whatever it is. Whatever the skipper wants, he's willing to do. And great temperament. He's a fantastic teammate to have. But again, you said that the Spartans might be playing too much cricket. I think also Parthiv is, when they lost to FCC, I think also the desire to win is probably gone, because at this point, it's a dead rubber game, in the sense that even if you win this game, you're not going to make the playoffs. So sometimes all your best players may not even be available. You might be just going through the motions to finish the game. Yes, they are a very disciplined unit under Chanakya Lokam, but again, I didn't see Nadeem Khan play this game. Again, I think the question then becomes, if this was a critical game, don't you think some of these other players, because I don't think even that Satish Chodapalli played.
He opened Vijay.
Nadeem. What about that Satish Chodapalli? I don't think he played this game. I think maybe I was looking at him. But again, I felt that, they probably would have made some differences, kind of a thing. But again, 67 for Spartans is a very low score. I mean, compared to what they were doing in the past, especially against Agni. And remember, we had all picked Spartans to win. But I also think it has a little bit to do with the fact that they know that whether they win this game or lose this game, it's not going to make any difference in the big scheme of things with regards to the playoffs. They are firmly out of the playoffs. That's pretty much it I have from my end.
Yep, I think the last 2 games they had a chance to win and confirm their place, but I think the last 2 games have just not been up to par. The next game, I think, was an easy call for all of us. I think Rising Stars and Stars, no pun intended, but essentially Stars got the Rising Stars down to the ground. Uh, I think Rising Stars, we have all talked about. This hasn't been a season that they would be talking about. Probably talking about more in terms of how to get to the next level. Their batting and bowling hasn't been up to par. It's always been short of the runs, the par score which is needed. The bowling hasn't been able to contain or pick wickets at regular intervals. There have been bits and pieces performances every now and then. Even here, you see some good starts and good scores starting and then losing wickets, and they lost wickets at regular intervals. There was no major partnership that happened throughout the innings. And for Stars, I think this is a game which they must have thought must have crossed it off very early in the season. And good to see some of the star players back, especially Mahesh. He's back in form. That's going to be very good news for Hari. Hari himself, I think, has pushed himself down the order. I know he started off opening at the start of the season, but now I think with Mahesh and Zishan and Ravi Teja all in it, and if you look at the people who didn't bat, I think definitely I think the Stars team now looks be at the right time to be peaking. So for me to be playing Stars the last game of the season, it does look very ominous.
Yeah, I mean, Parthav, I think Mahesh Muthiala was rightly judged the man of the match. He had a 5-wicket haul, and he also had a wonderful performance with the bat. But again, this is, as you said, this is the first time we are seeing, if I'm not mistaken, him coming up the order. I always thought Mahesh Muthiala was a very good batsman. He's a wonderful guy to deal with and talk with and to have a friendship with off the field. But even on the field, as a cricketer, I've always thought he was a very solid cricketer. He can bat, he can bowl, he can do whatever you want him to do. And I just felt that when he was coming number 9 and number 10, I didn't think it was justified. I think that they were missing a trick by having him coming that low. Maybe beginning of the season, they wanted to try other people out and see how other people perform. And towards the end of the season, you probably are lining up players where you want them to go some playoffs kind of a thing. But again, I think Imtiaz is underrated as a bowler. But Parthav, let me tell you, I mean, time after time, I have seen such stats from Imtiaz where 5 overs, 1 maiden, 8 runs, 1 wicket. But this time, Tarun Vempati also had 5 overs, 9 runs, and 1 wicket. So when some bowler is getting that kind of stats, always somebody else is going to benefit. In this particular case, Mahesh Muthiala was the biggest beneficiary. He ended up picking up the wickets because at the end of the day, the opposition has to try to take on somebody. And when you take on additional risk, obviously you're going to lose some wickets. But it was nice to see Raghu Tadi play his first game of DCL 2022 this year. And he played it for Stars. So once again, what I see is the old Falcons team, pretty much everybody has been taken by our friend Hari Parankusam. And he has only sidelined Srikanth and Sainath and Venkat Vatnala. So other than that, he has brought everybody else over into this new unit.
I thought I had a pact with Raghu. Last time I met him at the DCL night, I told him, we are giving you the Lifetime Achievement Award. Make sure you don't now start playing again. But I guess he couldn't resist, and he's back on the field. So, I always joke about this with Venkat Vatnala, Raghu Tadi, some of those folks, after receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award, still are, eager to play and, still fit. So kudos to them. I was just basically kidding, but good to see him on the field. One other thing which I was going to add for Stars is I forgot my line of thought. Yeah, about the bowling, Mahesh Muthiala. So when I saw those 5 wickets, I was checking whether he actually bowls or was this a one-time thing, and it looks like he hasn't bowled too much coming into the coming in the coming years. It's only this season that he's actually bowled like 15, 16 overs, but he's not been bowling most of the time. So this might be a surprise weapon which suddenly Hari has in his armor.
Yeah, Parthiv, while I'm seeing the scorecard, do you see that name Salman Salarzi? Do you know anything about him?
No.
Do you know anything about him? Okay, let me educate you. I mean, as far as I know, he's the lone player from Afghanistan playing in DCL. I could be wrong,
wow.
but yep, he's all the way from Afghanistan, and despite everything which is going on out there, he's out here. He's able to play. But here is another thing. This guy can hit the ball a mile. When he hits the ball stays hit. Now, I have seen him bat maybe 1 year ago or something like that. I saw him bat somewhere because I had heard that he was a fearsome hitter. So I wanted to see if lads run into him, then what do we need to do? So I was, since I did not know anything about him, I went to watch him bat, or I was watching that game from here to pick up a few things about his batting. But one thing is there, I mean, you can get him out because he has some fundamental flaws in his batting. But if he connects the ball is gone. So that's about what I can say. But anyway, since it's my job to put color on a game, I thought I should highlight that guy in the sense that, he comes from Lansing. I do not know if he's still in Lansing, but he used to be a Lansing-based player. I think, as far as I know, he's still from Lansing, and he comes out here and plays. He used to play in the Lansing leagues. So that's where I actually saw a game of him playing against Kishan's team. And that's when I was trying to figure out what we needed to do if we had to bowl to him.
How in the world did he end up on the Rising Stars roster?
I do not know. Part of last year, if I'm not mistaken, he played for Legends or one of those teams. I could be wrong. I thought he played for Legends, and because some of the Legends players play for Kishan in Lansing, and so they had seen him and they took him into Legends. But then obviously he must be having some other better friends probably in Rising Stars, and that's probably how he went to Rising Stars. Having said that, I see that our friend KK with headphones on and things like that is joining us. Anyway, before you guys go on, Parthiv, do you have a name for your team draft? I already have my name, Blistering Barnacles.
When I saw that name, I was basically giggling, saying this is a mouthful which is going to be tough for people to call during the show.
But KK, do you have a team name? Let me ask you that. Forget your advisors. Do you have a team name?
KK11.
Huh?
Satya says KK11.
KK11, is it?
Very creative.
Okay, Parthiv, you have a team name?
Not yet. I have to come. Not yet.
Do you guys know where I got Blistering Barnacles from?
No idea. Blistering I can see, but I have no idea barnacles.
Okay, so the thing is that you guys ever heard of Tintin?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, well, in Tintin, if you read any Tintin comics, remember, when I grew up, I was a big fan of Tintin. I read every Tintin comic. And you have a guy named Captain Haddock in there. And every time he used to say billions of blistering barnacles. So that's where I got this thing. And I said, you know what? I'm going to name my team Blistering Barnacles because guess what, KK? Parthiv's daughter is going to come and say, Dada, read me a story. I want to sit in your lap. And you know what Parthiv says? No. I've got lots of blisters on my buttocks. I really can't sit down. The kind of blisters I'm going to put on Parthiv.
Oh my God.
And Parthiv, let me tell you, KK's wife is going to say, "Hey, KK, why are you walking around? Why are you not lying down? Lie down. I want to, come." And, he's going, "Oh, no, I have got all the blisters and boils all over me after getting beat up in the fantasy draft. That's why I named my team Blistering Barnacles." There you go. Pumping up and doing the trash talking before the process has even started.
Parthiv,
We will
come up with an antidote name.
Sorry?
Antidote name.
Yes, I'll have to come up with something which counters these blisters.
That's okay, Parthiv. Yeah, Parthiv, let's form a coalition and then let's see who gets the blister.
Coalition, it's the age of coalition nowadays. So yes.
Okay, next.
All right.
See, as far as I know, neither of you guys have the name Narendra Damodar Das Modi in your names. So whatever you guys do, it's bound to fail, all right? Because that man is the master of breaking up the opposition. So you guys are not there yet. All right, let's continue.
That was great. So you've thrown the gauntlet, and we will definitely work on it to come back with some names which are going to be equally, if not counter, but equally impressive.
So now that you bring up the name of Modi, right, Viju, recently when we were in those knockouts of Michigan Cup, we all wrote slogans for our star players. So we can use one of them in this show for you.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to translate it, because these were in Telugu, but I'm going to translate it and say it in Hindi. India ka PM hai Modi, और DCL PrimeTime का daddy है Vijay hai daddy.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I'm not very good at translating, but if you say it again, Parthiv, probably you can say it better than me.
Yeah, but that was nice. All right, we're already getting excited with the DCL draft, and the hype is every week is getting more and more. So looking forward to that. Before we get to that, but the next game of the week was Strikers versus Guardians, and I know we talked about this game. It wasn't going to be an easy game for us, and it actually went that way. It wasn't easy in any which way from, even though the scorecard looks impressive of 51 runs. And I would say, we were on top for most part of the game, especially in our batting. We were dominating at the halfway mark of the 12th inning. We were around 60 odd for 2 in the 12th over, and suddenly after that, in the greed or in the lack of vision or lack of planning of trying to figure out what would be a par score, we probably tried to get too many, and we lost the way. We lost wickets at regular intervals after the break, and we ended up actually not playing the 25 overs, which I think is a cardinal sin after being 68 for 2 at the 12th over mark. So, but the 99 score, I felt at the break we could defend it. We had the entire bowling attack, barring probably one. But I was very confident that we will be able to kind of control SSC Guardians, and it was a splendid performance by Ball with Kapil and Vinod. I think they strangled the SSC Guardians and made sure that wickets fell in a heap towards the end, especially between Deepak and Kapil. I think they just made sure that SSC Guardians, if there was a chance, didn't really see anything substantial.
Parthiv, let me ask you a question. I want an honest answer. I see Krishna Berry played for you, and yes, Krishna Berry 8 years ago, or even 7 years ago. 8 years ago, 7 years ago, you were also in your prime, and you had outstanding figures. But Krishna Berry used to have similar figures like you. He was one of when you asked in DCL who are some of the prime bowlers in DCL, it would be Binod Singh, Parthiv Mehta, Krishna Berry. Well, the legendary Samish Kilam has always been one of the prime bowlers. He still continues to be a wicket-taking bowler, except that before his economy rate was much lower, and now his economy. But I see that he bowled 2 overs and gave 16 runs. Krishna Berry. My question is, where does Krishna Berry fit into your playoff 11. Does he make it? Does he not make it? Because at the end of the day, when you go to the playoffs, you try to play players according to the merit, depending upon player availability. Does he fit into your playing 11 at this stage in his career? That's my question. Yes, in terms of name recognition, he's right up there with some of the legends in DCL.
Yep. Yeah, so I think that was basically where I wanted him to be tried out in the next couple of games. This game as well as SSK and possibly even Stars if he's available, to kind of see how he fits into the 12. Because I think you're right. He has been a prime bowler in his prime. He hasn't played for quite a while. He had a stint with GLCC and then Falcons, and then had a sabbatical. I think in this game, I think he was not finding the right length. He's been playing leather ball a lot, so that transition into the T ball, changing the length of the ball you bowl, hasn't been there yet. So I'm hoping that he finds that. And we are able to play him, and he's able to, and just like Binod, I think he's an old wine. Binod, even right now, even if I wake him up from his sleep, he will pitch the ball in that same spot. So I'm hoping that happens with Krishna Berry as I give him more game time. But as of right now, it's still in flux.
Yeah, Partha, let me ask. I'll be honest with you. I have absolute confidence in Binod that he can pitch the ball exactly where he wants to pitch it even today, just like he could do it 8 years, 10 years ago. There's been a drop off in the pace in Binod's bowling, but not in the spots which he has to hit. So he still has that same legendary control. I do not know. I haven't seen Krishna Berry in quite some time to make a justifiable comment, but at this point, if you ask me to bet, I would probably bet against Berry that he can have the same kind of control which Binod has. But having said that, Kapil Chowdhury, my man, he has been missing. Where has he been missing, Partha? I mean, we have seen so many games where he has not played. What was happening?
Yep.
Was he injured? Did he go to India?
No,
what happened?
Yeah, he was in India. I think this because of the COVID, coming through. A lot of people had planned vacations, which have all come together. So I was out for 3 weeks. He was out for 3 weeks. Binod was out for 2 weeks. So all of basically, all the vacations are lined up. So he was out for three games. But the good news is we are back. Everybody's back on time, just before the playoffs, and making sure that we get to the playoffs.
Yeah, and with Parag and Shreyas hitting peak form right about the right time, I think strikers are looking ominous and dangerous as we approach the playoffs. I think the real test is going to be against Stars. We're going to see the proof is in the pudding. So we're going to find out how good the Stars are and how good strikers are when strikers go against Stars. So that would be one game which I would be looking forward to.
Absolutely, me too. All right, Vamsi, you wanted to add anything?
I mean, in this game, there are two great bowling performances. The one from the Guardians player, Raviteja Yarlagadda, 5 overs, 14 for 5. And that is what I think restricted you to 99 instead of you scoring in excess of 120. But the second one is, of course, from Kapil, 11 for 5. Dismantled the opposition because at one time they were 18 for 0. You're looking at 80 runs needed in 23 overs, about 3.5 runs in over. And, I think your bowlers came back beautifully, Deepak Patel and Kapil. Between them, 17 runs and 8 wickets, sealed the deal. But I want to ask you a question. I have a number in front of me. Can you tell me which area code it is or which phone number it is? It's 812-620-5001.
812. I have no idea. I can just take a guess.
Yeah, probably Satya can help you guys. He just pulled it up. That's 812-620-5001.
Okay. I'm looking up.
That's
on Google and it looks like Indiana.
No. He's talking about the scorecard, Partha.
The SLCC Guardian scorecard. Look at that. It's 812-620-5001.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
there have been a few scorecards like that. Definitely along the way.
But yes, I think this is something to forget for Guardians. But
Yeah, I think the only person who impressed was this opener Imran. I think he was pretty good, and he started really well. Once we got rid of him, I think it was
Right.
it was sealed the game.
I think it's his only game that he has played in DCL.
Oh, okay.
This is
Yeah, he does look
Also,
impressive.
also, KK, I felt there was quite a few new players in this game, especially at the lower end. So maybe now that they are out of the playoffs, some of these Lansing players are probably not coming because some of the guys who performed, like who was that? I forgot his name, but help me out here. There
Limbagiri
was a
Swami.
guy from
Limbagiri.
Nimbagiri Swami. You don't see him there. Then there was
The
a
point
Gopinath or
is-
some Sandeep or Gopinath or some
Sandeep John,
guy.
he is still there. Yeah.
No, not Sandeep John. There was another guy.
Gopinath
can
Nelluri.
you- Gopinath Nelluri. He didn't play
Yeah.
this game. There was another guy also who was performing. Rahul Golapudi. He didn't play this game. So Ajay, did he play this game? I'm not sure if he
See,
played this game.
the point is, Vijay, in Lansing, they have only like 7 or 8 teams. They have a local league there, right?
Yeah.
So when there are no leagues over there, the folks come and play these games because those leagues are more
Okay.
prestigious for them. It's the same
Yeah.
teams fight year on year, but when you don't have those players, of course, you're short of half your team.
Oh, do you know something? Their Bridges is the king. I think they have won 10 or 12 or 15 championships in a row. So if
Wow.
I'm not mistaken, yeah. I mean, it's Bridges and then everybody else. You get my point? And Kishan does divide and conquer rule there. He's the master at it.
All right.
Let's move on to the next game.
Let's move on to the next game. The next game was the game which actually, we had another centurion for this year, Ali Abbas. His blistering 114, with 11 sixes, one better than Hari Pallava. Basically just, all broke loose for Motor City after losing the toss, and Ali Abbas and Iftikhar and Razali all taking turns and making sure, that score of 216 was a mountain to climb for Motor City. Motor City have shown promise, but in this case, the batting, Sterling Strikers just batted them out of the game. And with that century, Ali Abbas now overtakes our Bahubali in the batting, the most runs in the batting stats. So with just one innings, suddenly Ali Abbas, I don't know where he was before this game.
Actually, Parthiv, I don't think it's one innings. There was another innings where he was in the 90s. He missed the century.
Yes.
Remember,
yes,
he scored.
exactly.
He scored almost 91 or 93 or something like that. He missed the century in that game. So actually, you could have had a potential where Ali Abbas was the only person to hit 2 centuries in one DCL season. You get my point? But he's been having a phenomenal season, Parthiv. I mean, this was a no contest. In fact, I have a new name for Ali Abbas. Ali Abbas is the boss. Abbas and boss. He's the boss. I mean, really, I've been very impressed. I've been watching him bat. Fantastic batsman. I actually went and saw a Michigan Cup game where they played against Royal Challengers. And he and Aditya Aital from Glads actually scored some 45 runs for no loss, chasing 90 runs or something like that. And then, both the openers got out. And the next thing you know, the team lost to Royal Challengers by 4 runs or 5 runs. But I thought that was a disaster. But as a result, Royal Challengers went against KK's team in the final. And I believe the Royal Challengers won that game. But all I can say is it was a great effort by FT and great effort by our friend who is always performing with the bat or with the ball, Raza Ali. They both had pretty good games, which are on any day you can say nothing to sneeze us, but dwarfed by Ali Abbas's outstanding performance. But I do not know, is this the highest score in DCL this year? I thought there was one other team that scored slightly more than that. I thought there was a team which scored.
Oh, you mean the team score?
Okay. The team score. Ali Abbas's score is the highest score in DCL this year for sure. But anyway, Sterling Strikers against Motor City, it was a no contest. I honestly felt this is what happens when an elephant, steps on an ant and the ant gets squished and crushed. And that's exactly what happened. But take nothing away from Ali Abbas. absolutely fantastic batsman. And remember, Bansab said that, here, if there was one player he would pay money to watch or on his team, which he would love to watch, it was Ali Abbas. And at that time, Abbas was not known as much, but he has been on our radar for quite some time. We have been saying that he's a destructive batsman and a fantastic batsman. Now he has developed that temperament against Royal Challengers when he played. I could see that temperament. He picked the right ball to hit and things like that. Doesn't get carried away just like that, but at the same time, a phenomenal batsman. So all the credit to Ali Abbas, but we couldn't give him game changer of the week despite scoring a century. I really thought about it, but in the end, I couldn't vote for him because even without Abbas, Sterling strikers still would have squished Motor City.
Yep.
So that's where the problem is.
Yeah, and I think if you see, I was looking at their stats this afternoon, and it looks like he has a similar trajectory to Armendra Nawala. I think last 2 years or 3 years, he's played. He hasn't been in the limelight. He hasn't scored that much, and suddenly this season, all hell has broken loose. And Ali Abbas, you see those 90s and 100s, and in his style of batting, I think he's got used to the ball now. These last couple of years were kind of that, getting used to the ball, getting used to the conditions, and now I think he's a very dangerous batsman up front.
Yeah, right now he's Ali Abbas, the boss.
The boss, yes. All right, our next game of the week, another game which I think between basement residents, the Dhairia 11 versus Thunderbolts. This was an easy win for Thunderbolts. Dhairia 11, fresh after their victory last week where they opened their account, we were thinking that they might show more promise, but it was back to old days for them. 50 runs was never ever going to be challenging Thunderbolts, and Thunderbolts have a good bowling unit, and they showed it this game. If you see, pretty much everybody is amongst the wickets, and then when it came to chasing, they made sure that there was no hiccups. Good to see Deepak. I know we talked about him. He hasn't had a big season yet, but I think this performance here will definitely make him a very happy man that weekend.
He is the top wicket taker.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I was I was talking about his batting as well.
Yeah.
I think his batting hasn't been there. Yes, that is. But still, being a top wicket taker is also a surprise. I haven't checked that stat. Wow.
Not just that, Madhav. Recently, Chanakya Lokam, he did a pet project. He collected all the T-ball statistics. About,
Yes.
how many wickets each fielder has taken, each bowler has taken, how many overs have they bowled. And guess what? In Michigan, Deepak Bhaskaran has sent down the most number of overs.
Oh, you mean in 2022?
So combined 2021 and 22 so far.
Okay. Wow.
So
and
his
he's
shoulder,
pretty good. I played against him.
So his shoulders must be pretty sore if he's being used that much.
Oh yes.
Okay. But anyway, coming to this game, I think since we are running out of time, I will pass other than to say that outstanding effort by Thunderbolts. But again, I think for Dhairia Parthav, the man who was the game changer of the week last week, who was that? Satyajit Das. He didn't play this game, all right? That was the first game he played. And remember, he came there and became the game changer of the week and he took 4 wickets. They didn't have Satyajit Das to play this game. So the question of without Satyajit Das beating Thunderbolts was out of the question. But again, for Thunderbolts, I think this time they decided to open with Devnath and Deepak Bhaskaran. The two guys I said was bowling outstanding for Thunderbolts. It was the other 3 bowlers who were conceding the runs. But anyways, the thing is, fantastic win for Thunderbolts. We are going to miss the playoffs, but at least something to hang on that they beat Dhairia.
Yep. And Parthiv, the next game, I think we should give it to Vijay because it's his favorite team who got the beating.
We've been following that. We've been following Viju, thinking that the Badshahs will wake up. But yeah, this is the last time I'm ever betting Badshahs.
Parthiv, I have some special comments for Badshahs. Once again, Parthiv, I trusted in Ali Shan. And you know what? Badshahs once again played this game with 10 players. Last game they played with 10 players. Ask Satya, when you play with 10 players, you might think that, you know what, we can somehow cover the field. But even Glatz finds it very difficult to play with 10 players against some other team. We are giving up significant real estate. The difference is almost like 20, 25 runs you are extra conceding because you're not able to cover that much. And, catches are not going to be able to be taken. Runs get conceded. It's really tough to feed. But, the thing is, Parthav, and KK, you might have heard this fable story. There was the scorpion or a crab or whatever it is, and a frog. And the scorpion or crab or whatever it is wanted to go from one shore to the other shore. And it tells the frog, can you carry me on your back to this thing? You know how to swim. And the frog says, why would I do that? And scorpion says, no, you're a nice guy. Can't you do that for me? And he says, no, if I take you, I know you will sting me to death. And he says, no, I wouldn't do that to you, because you know what? If I do that to you, you will die and I will die. And so the frog thinks about it and says, yeah, that makes sense. So you know what? In the niceness of his heart and out of the love of his heart, he decides to give a ride on his back, and everything is going fine until they reach halfway through the lake. And then while they are going to the other side of the shore, sure enough, the scorpion, true to his nature, gives a sting. And as the frog feels the sting and life is ebbing out of him, he asks, why did you do that? And then the scorpion says, it is in my nature to do that. What do you call a scorpion in Hindi? Bichu? Bichu or something? Yeah. Bichu. I mean, that's the nature of the bichu. And why did I say that? Parthiv, this is the last time I'm picking this Badshah, guys, because it's the nature of this bichu. And I'm going to call them Bichu Badshahs. All right? New nickname, Bichu Badshahs. That's what it is. These Bichu Badshahs have been stinging us, Parthiv. We have been picking them up. And guess what? They play with 10 players, second game in a row. Yes, the question is not about the talent if all of their top players are playing. But when you can get only 10 players to come to the game, well, you have a problem. And then, then we had that wonderful story of Eid where they were not able to play and things like that. But I think I wanted to say Arjun Chittamani had a fantastic game. I was very happy to see him in the runs. He scored 40 runs and he was the top scorer in this game. And very nice guy. And to see him score really warmed my heart. Krishna Chaitanya and Venkatesh Gothri, the skipper of Knights, had a fantastic outing too. 6 players, Parthiv, in double figures. So the Knights got everything right in this game. We were the fools to believe in the Scorpion, the Bichu Badshahs, and the Bichu Badshahs stung us. And I'll never recover from this. I'm dead. I mean, that's another reason why I've lost another one spot this week in the analyst race, because trusting in the Bichu Badshahs.
I didn't know he can bowl. He got 3 wickets too.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You're bowling. You're bowling to the Bichus. Anything is possible.
Wow. All right.
Anything more?
Yeah. So no,
nothing more. I think we are running out of time also, right?
Yeah. This was a one-sided game, so I'll pass. Not much. I think the next game is the next game is of particular significance in Pool B. Definitely with this win, Hitmen do have a mathematical chance. I think the next 2 games against Bulls, and I think they play Rising Stars, if I'm not mistaken, which I saw. So they still have an outside chance with SSK. If SSK loses their game, I think they might be able to sneak in. In this game, I think Stingers, they pretty much knew that their season was not going to go beyond playoffs. So I didn't see my fellow friend Jagan Velaswamy in the game. and that impacted. I think his batting and bowling does add to the Stingers lineup. In here, I think it was just Stingers. I guess I was watching. I was beside their ground, and I felt like they gave up too easily. They weren't really interested in challenging. And I think on the other hand, Hitmen, I felt they were playing with a lot more vigor. And it's great to see. I think at the start of the season when we played Hitmen, I had called out that their captain Arun Shankar. I think I felt he was a really good bowler. He actually has this knack of swinging the ball, and he wasn't bowling for some reason, and he didn't bowl against us. So good to see him back in the bowling. And albeit as you can see, he's picked up 3 wickets, and he's straight away had an impact. So all in all, I think a crucial win for Hitman, and you might see them just sneaking in.
Yeah, Partho, I thought that how can the analysts go without getting a sting from the Stingers? So the Stingers, true to their name, lived up to the Scorpion brothers from the Bichu Bakshas and gave us the sting this week. And as you said, you know what? They have nothing to play for. They are not going to make the playoffs. But on the other hand, yes, I think the Hitmen have a mathematical chance, but it's a remote chance. All right. They have to win the 2 remaining games and then hope that just like last week where, you had Dynamites beating Legends, and then you had Safaris losing to what was that? To Diarrhea. So anything can happen. All you can do is control what is in your plate, or control what is within your grasp of control, and then see what happens. So I still think that there is a remote chance, but the chance is very remote. But they will need help from other people, but they need to first help themselves. And I think they are still very motivated. And as you said, Arun Shankar has been bowling well. Well, he was. I don't know if he played against you, Parthiv. I don't remember him playing against you guys. But the thing is that, whenever he has been playing, he has been bowling. And he's a very good bowler. And once again, he made that big difference here. So congrats to Hitman and all the best in their remaining games. KK, you have something to add? Nothing?
I mean, these are pretty much done and dusted games, which I think we'll move on in the interest of time.
All right. Our next game is the Bulls Patriots game. I think this is the game which we all were hoping to have a really close contest. And I think we had predicted that Mahesh, our MBB, wasn't going to be showing up, but he showed up, even though they were missing the services of Geno James, which was true. I think Detroit Bulls had an awful day, just scoring 63, batting first. They just handed over the game to Patriots. I felt like this game could have been so much different had it been the Bulls of the first 4 or 5 weeks, which were playing so well as a unit. I think suddenly Bulls have lost direction and somehow been playing against their own character. So very disappointed to see Bulls kind of almost go out of the playoff race, where actually they were threatening the 4th, not only the 5th place, but even the 4th place at one point of time. So very disappointing performance. I'm pretty sure Mahesh Babu would be very, very disappointed with this at the end of the season.
So
yeah, Parthiv, I think I have to hand over this game to Mr. KK because he has a few things where he needs to crow, because he was the one who was high on Patriots and we were high on Bulls, and obviously we bombed on this. And what can I say? Patriots are in and Bulls are playing themselves out of the playoffs. I mean, I still think they have a mathematical chance, but the way they are playing gives me absolutely no confidence.
Yeah, I think it was 2 weeks back when I said, Patriots are going to end up higher than Bulls, irrespective of if they're going to make the playoffs or not. And I've been challenged on national television for for a treat. And there are 2 gentlemen across the table, and I'm ready.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, I'm having one now.
Okay. I'm getting my wallet. I'm getting my wallet out to see how I can make good on what I said I will do.
Yeah, but one thing, to point out here, Sainath, he's another person who's been with DCL so long, with another Falcons guy, back to what he does best, and his contribution made all the difference, I think.
KK, let me ask you this question. Quick answer. Are Bulls out?
Out.
I thought they are mathematically still in.
They are mathematically in, but they're out.
Yeah.
This is their game of going ahead, and I think they just ruined their own chances.
Yeah, there are too many permutations for them to go right. I mean, for them to go inside playoffs, too many things have to fall in.
Well, it's again, the thing is that if they can get to 29 points, who knows? Again, they're in a situation where they probably need help from others. But, but that is if they can get to 29. That's the first problem.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
And we have to also look at what are the remaining games, right?
Their game is against Hitman. They have only a game against Hitman, I thought.
And the game is this weekend, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
And if the game is this weekend, even though Mahesh Babu is in town, I know he will be busy with the TDF tournament, because that tournament requires all the 3 days full 100% participation. The teams play with only 12 players. You have to be 100% available, and his commitment is over there. He plays a significant role in that.
But here is the thing, KK. I mean, we said that he's good in Wisconsin and he will not be able to come back. And he came back this weekend just to play this game and try to see if he can get the Bulls into the playoffs. So maybe he still finds a way out to spare 4 hours. I do not know. I'm just saying.
No, the game, because I am playing a game against Mahesh's team in the TDF tournament at 8 o'clock in the morning. And by the time the game is done, it'll be 10:30 or 11. So, even though he wants to come out, he is a batsman and also a bowler. He's proved it this year. So it's very difficult. He's not going to just do justice on both the ends.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next game, I guess. We are making good time, though.
Yep. I think, and I think it's, to be honest, is because of the results that have been one-sided that we've been making up time. So another one of the games, I think, the MCC Miles versus Phantoms. The only silver lining, as I always say, for Phantoms is they batted first, so they avoided the wrath of MCC Miles and their batting. MCC Miles has been scoring heavily. A lot of players have been in good form. Sanjay is the latest to be in form. I think the game yesterday, which happened, DCL T90, I think he was the guy who turned it around with his knock. So, and in this game as well, he got those 16 runs along with Rahul Chenna and Prithvi and Brahma, all of those guys contributing, and just making it easy for MCC Miles. MCC Miles going into this game, I'm pretty sure they knew that this was a game that they would be favorites to win. But one thing which caught my eye was one of my old friends and a former striker from a Warriors guy, Amitabh, was on the scorecard, and I was pleased to know that he too, from the from wherever he shows up on the scene. So it was good to see that he still got something.
Actually, this is Parthiv. This is not the first game he's playing. He has already played a few 1 or 2 games before this.
Oh, really? Oh my God!
Yes.
Actually,
Satya, can you hit on Amitabh Mudiraj? I'm very sure I saw him for sure. Oh, look at that! 4 games.
Wow, that means I must have completely missed the Phantoms scoring.
Yeah, because I remember seeing it couple of times. So I didn't I missed the 4th game, but so I know that this was the 3rd game which he was playing. But anyways. So some of the guys are coming. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, sorry for interrupting you. Go ahead, Biju. Once you're done.
No. I was just saying it was good to see all these guys come back from the woodwork and play. You had Raghu Tadi play, and then Krishna Bedi play, and now Amitabh Mudiraj play. I'm always warmed up to see these guys play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But looking into this game, right? Which team's bowling impressed me the more? It was Phantom's bowl, because look at the MCC Miles bowling scorecard: 28 extras.
Wow.
You want to be in the top 8 of DCL. You want to go into those pre-quarters or quarters, I don't think this type of bowling performance is at all.
But
Because on the
KK,
other end,
KK, probably it's because they're playing Phantoms. They use so many bowlers. Look at the number of bowlers they use. I don't think they use this many bowlers on a regular basis. But I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, Jashwant is the regular bowler. Okay, Sunil Somavarpu is the regular bowler. Then, Vinod is the regular bowler, and Vinod bowls 2 overs, gives away 4 wides. Sunil 4 wides in 4 overs. Jashwant 3 wides and 1 no in 4 overs. And Brahma, he picked a 6-4 in the beginning of the season. In this, he bowls a single over, gives away 7 wides. You see what I'm
KK,
saying? It's going to
every one of their bowlers gave wides.
Wow.
Yes, every single one of them.
Yeah, there was not even one who did not give a wide.
Yep. When I look at these scorecards, I somehow feel that I should also bowl very often because I bowl wides too.
I think Brahma wants to get best batsman. He wants to give more runs, so everybody gives and they score more, right?
Well, that's the
planning
rationale.
something. They're looking for another century somewhere there.
All right. I think we can move to the next game, Parthiv, and I'm going to sit this one out because I know I took a heavy beating.
Yeah, this is the game which I think even the Pokharis wouldn't have thought that this was going to be shaping this way. I'm pretty sure they expected a much bigger fight and a longer game, to be honest. But Pokharis, I think going into this game, I was pretty sure. I think the experience of Pokharis made all the difference because I knew that these guys, people like Saranraj, Vignesh, Neil, Ravi, all those players have been in this situation, these big match situations, so many times, and they've always performed at that highest level. So this was a kind of a litmus test for Troy Hawks. I think they need to start winning against the big teams. They have performed well this season, but I think they still have the next level to climb where they can start beating these big teams every so often. I think that's where I think they fumble a lot of the times. And looking at the scorecard, that 39 for 10 in 20 overs, I don't know what they were planning to do. I think either they were just batting and just going through the routines, but there was not even an attempt. If they'd got out in 10 overs, I would have sympathized with them because they went after the score a tall order of 150 and maybe lost wickets in a hurry. But if you look at the batting card, first of all, it was all over the place, as you had pointed out. It wasn't the normal batting order. And then secondly, I think people just took their time. I mean, everyone is under a 40 strike rate, so it wasn't any urgency shown by anyone. So I don't know what went wrong, but maybe somebody can throw light on why they played the way they played.
Yeah, I think I know the reason for this. Because this is a Sunday game, right? Come in August, you usually don't have Sunday games in DCL because Mishka is also conflicting at that time. And in this game, Troy Hawks won the toss. They usually would have batted first, but 3 of their players have to go and play a leather ball game, which means they bowled first so that these folks can bat and lead. That is where the batting order is completely messed up. And they were 11 for 7, and there is no coming back from
there. KK, even then, not a single player in double digits. All right. On top of that, if you really look at it, 11 runs they got in extras. In other words, out of their bat, they got only 28 runs. I mean, I'm not sure when is the next time you're going to be able to beat anybody if you score only 28 runs. So that's not happening.
The point is, these teams, right? Teams like Troy Hawks who have improved, they have a definitive template on which they use it as building blocks every single game. In this game, it completely messed the batting order, which means the harmony that you have so far somehow is disturbed. Right? And
so let me ask you this question. At this point, going into the playoffs, is Troy Hawks a pretender or a contender?
I think if they forget this game, get back to basics, they'll be a contender. If not, they'll be just a pretender. Because the more you think about this game, The more you analyze this game, the more you get it into your head, it's going to hurt them more, and they can't play their natural, game for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, but Partha,
Yeah.
sorry, KK, whenever there is pressure, they seem to be crumbling under pressure. Because look at the situation against Glad's. They should have beaten Glad's. And honestly, you'll be wondering why I was. Remember, last game, Satya tried his best to convince me to switch from Pokharis to Troy Hawks. And I consistently said, no, I will not switch. I'm not switching. I'm staying with Pokharis. And there is a reason why I stayed with Pokharis. It's because when I follow the eye test. When I see a game, that's when I know how good that team is and how, where it stands. And Glad's played Pokharis, Glad's played Troy Hawks. And when we played Troy Hawks, and remember, when we played Pokharis, I picked against Glad's because we had only 5 players. But come game day, because of the movement in that Punjab tournament, what happened was basically we ended up getting more players than we had anticipated. And so actually the team which played against the Pokharis, the team which we fielded, was a better unit than the unit which we fielded against Troy Hawks. And I felt, based on those 2 eye tests, I felt that Pokharis was playing a better brand of cricket. And in this game, Vamsi, that Arun Tinakaran hit a 6. You need to go back and take a look at that 6. It was a fabulous 6. I mean, when I saw that 6, my jaw dropped. I watched this game live, and I'm telling you, my jaw dropped. It was that good. And I thought the Palaniswamis, both Raghu Palaniswamy and Ranjit Palaniswamy, they had fantastic games. They did a fabulous job there. Again, the opening for Pokharis was fantastic. Both their openers, Vignesh as well as Saran, had really gave a great start. And from there, Pokharis never looked back. And I feel if Pokharis gets to 100, they have a very disciplined bowling attack, which can get the job done. And that's what I was hoping, that Pokharis will get to 100. If they get to 100, I felt it was game on. Then I wanted to see if, because I knew that Pokharis was batting first, then I wanted to see how Troy Hawks handles that. So, but anyways, with the exception of Vignesh, if you look at it, everybody, even Vignesh had great stats as a bowler for any other team, except that when you look at this game, all the others had phenomenal stats. I mean, out of the world stats. You could die for these kind of stats. But great game by Pokharis, and I don't know if it's Troy Hawks. This has got to be something we'll have to forget very soon. I'm not sure if we'll be able to put it back. But also the question is, they'll have to. There are some big question marks here because the fear factor is gone.
Yep, I agree, and I think you mentioned about the contender. I do not think Troy Hawks is a contender for the trophy, at least. Yes, come playoffs, they are definitely in the playoff, but I don't think they are as threatening what we thought it could be. Because I think apart from Legends, I don't think they've beaten any of the top teams in their group. They've beaten everyone else, and even against MCC Miles, I think they tied. So the only the big game or big team they've beaten is Legends, and we all know Legends hasn't been the big team that was there last year. So haven't got the big wins yet. So that's going to definitely impact going into playoffs. All right. The last game of the weekend was another one-sided game. Dark Horses versus SLC Legends. Dark Horses, I think we've all talked about it. I think they keep winning the toss. That's their only thing which is working their way. And, in this game also, being folded for a very low score of 60, apart from Abhijit, you could basically have it was almost binary. It was 0-1, 0-1. You could almost go that way along the scorecard. No batting absolutely from the Dark Horse. And Legends, they finished the work in 9 overs and were at home very quickly.
Parthiv, you're basically telling me that I need to recruit Pankaj Watts so that he can become the official toss man for Glad's, because he seems to be winning toss after toss after toss. I think only last week he lost a toss, but Other than that, pretty much almost every toss he seems to be winning. But I'm going to pass on this game because, really speaking, it was that one-sided. So what more can I say?
Yep, and I want to add something here. Legends added a new player, Prashant Palle. I think he had a fantastic outing, scoring 42. He opened the innings. And the game before, they added, I think, 2 new players. Okay, and this Prashant Palle, I've seen him play in the other leagues. He's a very good batsman. I don't remember the other player's name, but let me look for it. He's a very good all-rounder. So, I think the big games are coming up for Legends. The next 3 games, they have to win at least 2. And it's going to get interesting from here on.
Yeah, I think that reminds me, being in the committee, I see waiver forms come across. And one of the teams that is still sending me waiver forms is SLCC Legends and, Guardian. So they keep adding players. I don't know from where, but yes, every week or every couple of weeks, I always see some new player being added. All right. With that, we finish all the games for the weekend. We now move into our predictions. But before that, we want to call out Hari Pallava from Canton 11 for his outstanding knock of 86, or was it 84, which had 10 sixes and which basically puts Canton 11 in the driving seat. And we're going to talk about their game against Hawks, which is going to be the decider for that 5th spot in Pool A. So congratulations, Hari. If you're listening, or if anybody from Canton 11 is listening, please make sure Hari calls, texts, or gets in touch with Satya to claim his $25 gift certificate by the end of Friday.
Yeah, I mean, Javed is already there. Javed, I do not know if you heard the beginning of the show. I had said that Hari Pallava did a Malcolm Marshall. I mean, he was that phenomenal. We gave him the game changer of the week. And I'm not sure if Javed can hear me. I can see him moving around, but nevertheless, Hari Pallava needs to claim the gift certificate from Satya by Friday, 12 midnight. As long as he claims it, he gets the money, and it's free money. And all I can say is almost everybody has taken advantage of the free money coming. You get it in your way. Hey, it gets you 2 or 3 good coffees, and it makes my day. So, but anyway, let's move on. You didn't have any. You didn't have any pictures to share, Satya. You forgot.
I forgot to copy. It's in the WhatsApp.
All right.
I have to download it. So
Okay.
But they were not real Sajjit and others, so they came and collected, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, but you had this. You had their pictures, I thought.
Okay, I'll put next. So.
Yeah, that's fine.
Parthiv, any comments?
Absolutely. As the score and as they say, stats don't lie. I am catching up. I'm already 3 points behind you, and I'm 2 points ahead of Satya, and Viju 1 point lead. So moving into the second place. I remember I was in the last place a few weeks ago. So definitely, I think the last 2 or 3 weeks have gone really well for me.
Parthiv, when I have,
and I remember. Wait. I remember that mirror on the wall.
Parthiv, when I have friends like Bichu, Bakshas, what in the world can I expect?
Well, I think Viju, we all picked Bakshas.
Yes, we all got.
No, you. Yeah, I thought you picked somebody else. I don't know.
I think I won on the Hitman Stingers thing.
Yeah, no. Hitman. Hitman. No, on the Canton 11. Yes, that's right. Yes. But Hitman, this guy, who Vamsi was the only guy who picked Hitman.
Yeah, and then I think we won against Vamsi on the Pokharis Troy Hawks one.
Pokharis,
so gained up there.
Pokharis.
Yeah. All right. We now move into the predictions, and Naresh and Javed, you guys are also welcome to predict as well. So we'll go around the table and call off. I think this game I'm going with in the Thunders. I think it's going to be a game Thunders.
Yep, I'll go with Thunders too.
Yeah, it's six Thunders for me. Yeah, it's probably 6-0 Thunders is what I'm guessing.
I'm open.
Azim and all those, all their wet, because I think Rangers are a pretty good team. So they shouldn't be experimenting anymore now.
Naresh?
Yeah, I'll go with MA Rangers.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, see?
Well, Naresh, if you do not know,
Javed bhai,
Alright,
mute.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. We can hear you, Naresh. We can't hear Javed bhai. I don't know. Javed bhai is in an island of his own.
He's on mute. I can see he's on mute.
Okay.
Javed bhai, if you're hearing us, you're on mute.
Javed bhai is probably not hearing us.
Oh, now I think yes, we can hear you now. Oh, no.
nope.
We can't hear you, Javed bhai. All right, let's move on to the next one. Javed bhai is going to work out his audio.
Okay. FCC Agni Data Basha Viju.
100%. No more scorpions. No more bitches, man. Enough. I have been enough stung by the bitches. No, please put me on Agni.
Yes.
Parthiv, I'd rather be burnt alive by the FCC Agni in a fire than be stung by the bitches. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Naresh?
Yeah, FCC Agni.
Yeah, okay. Javed bhai, still we can't hear you. So, okay. Sterling Strikers Raptors.
Sterling, oh, this is going to be a really interesting game, but I think I go with Raptors on this.
Yeah, I go with Raptors too. Okay.
I'll pick Raptors.
Yeah, I'm also going with Raptors on this one.
But I'm predicting this time.
Raptor guys playing TDF.
So strikers. I'll go with strikers.
Oh, okay. Naresh going with Strikers.
Yeah, Pradeep Anjuru plays TDF.
Okay.
Raptors are playing now too much cricket.
But again, I got to know that Pradeep Botta is injured this week.
Okay.
And Pradeep Anjuru is not available. So just throwing it in there.
Okay.
FCC Knights.
FCC.
Well, I'll go with FCC.
Yes.
Good.
FCC is not Detroit Badshaw, so that Knights can 39.
I'll go with FCC as well.
Yeah, FCC has been very consistent. So I think it's a safe bet.
KRCC Rising Star.
KRCC.
Yeah, just hoping that KRCC doesn't win the toss.
Stars Local Boys.
Stars, absolutely.
Yeah, Stars for me.
Stars.
How I wish local boys do a GLCC on Stars. That would
Is
be...
our friend Javed audible still?
No, he's missing some audio thing.
No, but when you join,
how is he joining?
He joined, but he's not.
I know. So we can't hear you, Javed bhai. We can't hear you.
I think
your microphone
is not correct.
You need to probably there was something join with computer audio or something like that.
I think he's talking through the computer.
Parthiv, I realized one thing. I found one guy who is more technically challenged than me. Javed bhai. I was looking to find out who in the world could be more technically challenged than me. It is Javed bhai. All right.
Javed bro, if you join from the computer, there is a mute icon in the left bottom. There you can see all the settings.
No, I think he's off.
Actually, he's unmuted actually.
Yeah.
I think the microphone settings. If you connect it to some Bluetooth, I don't know what. Yeah. There you can select proper device.
Might have connected to his Bluetooth, I think.
Okay, all right, let's move
There's
on.
one other thing we can do. There
there
is a
is-
conference ID. He can just call in from his mobile, and then he can use this as
No.
video.
Okay. Hitman Detroit Bulls.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Detroit Bulls.
Me,
I'll go
I
with
think-
Detroit Bulls.
Okay. KK,
Well, I'm going to go with Hitman.
only Karthik goes with Bulls.
That's
I
okay.
went with
Parthiv,
Bulls.
Parthiv, your
Yeah.
answer is Bulls, right?
That's what you said.
Wait.
Don't change it, Parthiv. Don't change it.
No, I want to make sure what I wrote down. Satya,
Yes.
can you see what?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Bulls.
you
I see
selected
it, Parthiv.
Bulls.
I see it
I have Bulls
right
in mind.
in front of me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you have Bulls, Parthiv. You have Bulls. You stay
Then
with
I'll
Bulls.
Stick to that.
Okay. We're all
Parthiv,
going with
your,
Hitman.
yep, your friend is playing the TDF tournament,
Oh my God.
and
Strikers.
your hope of staying ahead of Viju might be just going away with this game.
Yeah, could be.
Strikers
Yeah.
SSK.
KK, Parthiv is a man of his word, all right? If he took the Bulls, he's going to stick with the Bulls.
Yes, I will go with Bulls. I will basically try my luck, a calculated risk. Let's see. If it pulls off, it's a big prize.
All right. This game I'll stick with Strikers.
Viju?
Yeah, with
You can still
Kapil Chowdhury back, and Vinod striking, left and
go with
right.
SSK.
So, by the way, Naresh, I think there is some sort of this thing. There was one other guy who came on our show sometime back. I don't know if you guys remember who it was, who picked a lot of contrary picks. And now Naresh is challenging him. So we'll have to see who has the worst record in the entire DCL PrimeTime history. So let's hope it's not Naresh. He's picked some very challenging picks.
Okay.
We're challenging the analysts.
GLCC Patriots. It's GLCC.
GLCC for me. I think it will be great if Patriots win it, but yeah.
You can
Yeah.
still
Why,
give-
Parthiv, why would it be great if Patriots win it for you?
I mean, yeah. Actually, I'm sorry. It would be the other way around. I would want GLCC to stay up. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's why I was asking that question. Why would it be so advantageous for you if Patriots win? Because I would think it would be detrimental to your cause.
right.
And
I
the
was
other
thinking
thing is,
that-
I thought GLCC was your chuddy pals.
For some reason I was thinking about Patriots versus SSK for some reason.
Okay.
Miles Dynamite.
Miles Dynamite. I think this is a repeat game, right? I mean a rescheduled game.
No, that is Legends Miles.
Oh, Miles. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this should be Miles for me.
Yeah, Miles.
I mean, we should recall a conversation, Vijay Shanmugam sent a note, see you in the playoffs. And Satya, I heard the show after and he said, I'm waiting. Because the next game is against Gladiators. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yes.
Okay.
That-
Gladiator Phantoms. Satya, you are promising.
Parthiv, let me tell you, we have 11 players for this game.
We have-
Almost every week you heard me saying that we have only 5 players, 6
Viju.
players, and all that nonsense, right? We have more than 11 players for this game.
You have 14 players. I think I have to sit.
Oh, is it?
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
You guys have 2 teams, that means.
No, this is a rarity. This is a rarity in Glads that we have that many players available. Every week we are begging somebody or the other. Sometimes the captain has to go and find somebody off the street. In fact, you'll find that there was a game where I've never even seen that guy. He played a game.
Adnan, right?
Adnan, yeah, I don't even know who that is.
He's Imran's cousin.
Oh, Adnan Burke. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
Imran's Burke's brother,
Yeah.
is it? Cousin brother, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, before this season, I would have hoped that Phantoms don't lose the toss, but I think this season, I think they've done quite a bit good. So not going to say that for them. All right, this was the game of the week for me. This is going to be really interesting. The 35th versus the 36th ranked team.
Okay. So who are you picking?
I am picking Dhairya.
Everybody is picking Dhairya.
Everybody's
Because
in
They
Dhairya's camp.
won one game.
They have won one
Ah.
game.
They are the
I
heavy
can't
favorites
believe
coming
us.
into this game.
I mean, I think the Dhairya skipper is going to roll in joy. You know, he probably might have a heart attack because when he realizes that 4-0 or 5-0 or 6-0, Dhairya is expected to beat dark horses.
Yeah, I'll go with the dark horses in this.
Okay, good.
game.
At least 5-1, is it? Is our
Yeah.
friend Javed got his audio back, or
No,
we still can't hear you, Javed bhai? We still can't hear you.
so he's telling he wants to go with the dark horses as well. So myself and Javed bhai.
How did you know that he wants to go with dark horses? Did you hear it?
I'm just kidding. No,
He's just kidding.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you read his lips.
Do we have an audio where you can join in?
I don't know. See, I'm telling you, I was right. He's more technically challenged than me.
I think we have to see the.
Yeah, there is an option to join audio.
Hmm.
You have to dial in and enter the meeting ID and passcode.
So
Probably
do you
Satya,
know
you
what
can send him the.
do you know what those numbers are?
Yes, it's right in the message which Satya sends out. So I'm trying to copy that and send it.
Yeah, see if you can send it to Javed while we.
I'll tell you what's the problem. Javed bhai doesn't have Hari Pallava by his side to babysit him. That's the problem.
I'm
I think Javed is hearing everything which I'm saying, but he's not able to respond back.
Yeah, I can. We all can see your video. We can see how hard you're trying. I think he's got help from one of his kids. At least I can see somebody trying to help him.
Okay. All right. So,
All right.
have we come to the showcase game of the week? There we go. Oh, this is not the showcase game of the week. Yep. Not yet.
It's not yet. This game is very important for Troy Hawks. I think any slip up will definitely be very, very difficult. Will make it difficult or make it at least give him some hiccups. So this will be, I think, for me, Troy Hawks. But I hope they don't trip.
Yeah, but here is the thing. I thought KK said that the Golden Boy said that the next 2 games for Safaris is the easiest games or something like that, is what Vamsi told us. Remember that conversation, Parthiv?
Yeah.
He told us
Yes,
that,
he said these are
Golden
not
Boy
hard
said,
games.
yeah, these are not hard games. I mean, I was stunned when I heard it that these are not hard games. And now if Troy Hawks has anything called a spine, this is the game where they have to come and show their spine. And they have to show their raptor mentality and turn into dinosaurs or whatever it is. Because after last week, there are a lot of questions. All right. Kaushik Chapudi now will have to turn into a monster. And I think Kaushik Chapudi and Golden Boy are great friends. Am I correct, KK?
Oh, yes.
Okay. If they are great friends, well, they'll need to put their friendship aside for this game and come out there and perform on the field, because our Golden Boy says this is a very easy game, or it's in the kitty, as our friend Rahul Chenna said that he wanted to. Was it? I think it was Chenna who said he wanted to get Kaushik into his kitty. Well, ultimately it ended up being a tight game, but yeah, I'm going with Hawks on this one.
This is what actually happened, right? This is what happened. Let me turn on my video.
Okay. Yeah. Please tell the full story.
So, it was the Michigan Cup is over. Myself, Rahul, Kaushik, we were all having food. The cricket festival where we were having dinner, and they asked, I think it's the end of Safaris in DCL. I said, why? We have 2 more games, and he asked me, is the Tri Hawks a difficult team? And then he said, "His Legends a difficult team. We'll win both."
Okay.
I like the confidence.
It was confidence, not arrogance. But I thought it was too much to ask from a team which has not been supporting their star players. I told him right on his front, on his face that one Rahul and one who is the left arm bowler, Shitej. One Shitej and one Rahul would not win you games. You need all 11 or 12 to play.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. Obviously, all the analysts feel that Troy Hawks is the better team.
Yep.
Of course, we have all been wrong numerous times. So, Swarna Rahul will have to prove us wrong.
Yeah, a win here for Safaris, and again, that basically makes that fifth spot so very coveted between like Legends and Safaris and Hawks. Like all three of them will be in play again.
And even in the season, he has played on one single leg and won them games. But I hope it doesn't.
Yeah, but I don't know if you guys remember what I said last week, that I felt that who is this? So Golden Boy gets too many LBWs. Well, I went back after the show last week and I went back and took a look at Golden Boy, how he got out. I think there were 9 innings which he played. Out of 9 games, 9 innings. 2 times he was not out. So you only have to look at the 7 times he got out. 4 of them were LBWs. I think it was 2 runouts and 1 was caught or something like that. So that was the mode of dismissal. So when you have 4 times LBW, that tells me that he needs to make an adjustment on the stance which he takes from the umpire. That's why I said last game itself, at least in the regular season, especially when you are the premium player on your team, you can't afford to get out, because there are some umpires who come, as soon as there is an appeal, they raise their finger. And I'm not sure why these umpires have to raise the finger so quickly. Why not take a moment? Yes, you might have already made your decision, but just still think it through and just look at all of these things and then, give the decision after thinking it through. But sometimes they just want to raise the finger as soon as the appeal goes in, I mean.
I think that's a good point, Vijay, because yesterday it was the DCL T90 finals. The fielder throws the ball, it hits the stumps, the flashing bails flash, but the bails do not fall down, and up goes the finger.
Well, that's not out if the bails did not fall off.
But it was the spring stumps, the stumps moved, the bails did not fall out. My stand was it is not out.
Yeah, that would be my stand too. That would be the stand which is supported by the ICC rules too, that the bails has to fall.
Exactly. So now here comes the contention point. The umpire called it out.
Agreed.
And DCL rule book says you cannot call back the batsman. I mean, unless the opposition captain agrees, right? And now the umpires call in this committee member. I'm not going to name the member. He comes, moving around, and he says, "No, if the umpire gave it out, it stands. It's out. You have to listen to what the opposition captain is saying."
Okay. Well, first of all, the committee member is wrong. I don't care who the committee member is, because the reason is your same rule book says that the bail has to fall for it to be out. So if the bail did not fall and if the umpire gave it out, you have 2 rules which are going against each other, right? So now how do you decide which rule is superior?
But Viju, to be honest, that will happen in any decision. Like if a wrong LBW is called, it's against the rule book, right? The rule book says the ball pitching outside leg stump is not to be given out. Now with
Agreed, but Parthiv, that's an LBW decision, right? That this
but you can't go back. You can't go back in the video and see where it pitched. But here the bails are still there. They're not moving. They're still there on the top of the stumps.
Right.
And the umpire raised his finger too quick.
So here is the question. The other question is, how do you want to win? Parthiv, remember I asked this question to you last week, where I felt that Chanakya Lokam lost that game for Spartans against FCC only because he called Shashank Gowda back. He doesn't call Shashank Gowda back, Mr. Vamsi will be laughing his way to the bank. All right? But FCC lost because they called, FCC won because Shashank Gowda was called.
Okay, thank you.
Finally, here, Javed. Bye.
Thank you. Finally, my wife helped,
we could see you fighting your way through, but finally we can hear you.
Thank you.
And Vijay, I did not know. Yeah.
I'm not a computer
Sorry,
guy.
Javed bhai.
I asked Henry to join, but he asked me to go.
You're still a little lower. If you can speak up a little bit, or maybe increase the volume a little bit. You're still.
You guys hear me now?
Yeah, better.
Okay, thank you.
You can go a little more louder. Still, it's a little low, is what I feel.
Yeah.
Okay, Vijay bhai, no problem.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah,
Okay,
keep it
this
near.
is the final game before the showcase game. So Titans, Legends,
So-
and
Oh wow, Titan Legends, we are split.
yes.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Well, again, Vijay, I did not know that Chanakya Lokam called back Shashank Gowda. Now I have to go back and watch that video.
Yeah, I
no,
think
he called back Shashank Gowda. I watched it live.
we can have a whole prime time episode for umpiring and how to solve it, because there's so many things and so many issues with that. Because if you take one side, the other side is you leave holes there, so it's always going to be.
Further, the quality, at least the quality of the umpires would come into picture mainly in the league stages, but come playoffs, the captains have an option to pick. At that time, I think this other captain agreeing to recall all this nonsense has to go away, and the decision should be completely in the hands of umpires in the playoffs, at least.
KK, the thing is that one of the best rules which DCL has is that in the playoffs, the captain has a right to turn down an umpire. And I think you'll find that the umpiring in the playoffs suddenly increases in quality. One of the reasons is both captains have to agree to that set of umpires. And I think it is critical to do that, because a captain, when he goes into the game, I mean, you have a showcase game of the week coming in, Canton 11 versus Hawks. Both of them, critical game. That's why we gave it showcase game of the week. Now, you can't have this game spoiled by the umpires. You need the best quality umpires. But unfortunately, it's not a playoff game. And both of them don't have any right to, at this point, to turn down an umpire. Even though they might feel that this umpire is not good or is biased or doesn't know the rules, they still doesn't. But come playoffs, they get that right. And that really helps, because there are so many times you can avoid suspect umpires by just turning it down and getting a better umpire. And I think that's one of the good rules which DCL has, which no other league has. And so in that aspect, I think DCL is unique in that aspect.
Yeah, but what I was trying to say is, at least in playoffs, the umpires should be able to reverse their own decisions, irrespective of being, held up by the opposition captain.
Yeah, I think the reason why we have this is because let's say the other way around, I'm not going to take too much time, but if it's the other way around where the umpire has not given a decision or not given out, I think the teams put pressure on the umpires to change their decision, because if after it's given and if there is a chance that they might change it, I'm pretty sure one team is going to keep asking and begging and forcing the umpire to change their decision. So there are going to be loopholes on either side.
Yeah, personally, Parthiv, I'm in favor of umpire not being able to change his decision once it's given, because that's in line with ICC rules. So right. I'm in favor of that once you have given the decision. But the thing is that all I say is every umpire should take some time before giving that decision. I still remember, I used to go for umpiring, and I know it is plumb, but I still take some time just to think it through, only because I want to go through, okay, you have 4 or 5 rules, which for an LBW, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is every one of them satisfied before I give it out? Because I know the moment I give it out, I can't change that decision. So I don't want to relinquish my right until I go through that. But anyway, I think we should move on, and we have the showcase game of the week.
So, Parthiv,
yes.
Can you pick?
Satya?
Can you pick?
Yes, I'm going to pick Canton 11. Two reasons. One is they are in red hot form, and second, I am in Canton. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, KK.
I mean, Hawks is dependent on two guys. One of them is on the show, other person is Vikram Golimari. Whereas Canton 11, Ramzi Mohammed is clicking in the last few games. Naz has played a blistering innings of 64 against Spartans. Then this game, Hari Pallava scores 87. I think they have more individual contributors than Hawks, game winners than Hawks. So I'm going with Canton 11.
Viju goes with
Yeah, KK and Parthiv, same thing for me, Canton 11, only because I think Hawks' problem is they are so dependent on these two people that what happens if these two people don't click? And this is the same reason why I picked against Safaris too, was because they are dependent on Shitej and Golden Boy. And so in a big game, you need more people is what I feel. So Canton 11, Hari Pallava's innings was an eye-opener. I didn't expect that kind of an innings. I mean, Javed Bhai, I do not know. I compared his innings to Malcolm Marshall. So go and listen to the first part of this thing when we covered that game. But I think I already told last week that Adarsh Nair and Shakil Ahmed are been batting outstanding. Mohammad Ramzi last year was a game winner. This year he has been picking a lot of wickets. When he gets going, he can get going. And Naz, when he gets going, he's an outstanding hitter of the ball. So I feel that Javed has more pieces. And the other problem is, this is blistering barnacles. I've been given a lot of blisters by Canton 11. Every time I picked against Canton 11, they have come back and whacked me left and right on my buttocks. So I had enough. I have had enough blisters on my buttocks. So I'm done. No more.
I'm going with
how
Hawks.
I look at it. Oh, you're going with Hawks. All right. So this is a desperation move to get out of the last place.
Yes.
I'm winning all my picks this time. So okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Thanks for the support, Satya, bro.
You guys are winning, don't worry. Sorry, but
Naresh, is Vikram Reddy Golamari playing?
He's not available for next game.
Ah! There you go.
no, but still I'm going with Hawks.
Okay. you remember the bear, Parthiv? Remember the bear? Eaten Satya halfway through, okay? There's a bear.
I have nothing to lose. I cannot go more down.
Yeah.
Zach, bro. But we have other players too.
Yeah.
Anyway, no. So we want you to introduce some of your players. I mean, but I think last time when Vikram Reddy came on the show, I was not there on the show. I was infected with COVID. I didn't get a chance to talk to him. I really wanted to talk to him, but I'll let. We have an order in which we go. We start with Parthiv, so we'll let Parthiv go.
Yeah, I think my question is, and again, this might be, I want to make sure, I'm not very thorough with the stats, but, question for Javed Bhai. Javed Bhai, you're so close to the playoffs. Is this the first time that you guys would be going into the playoffs in the history of Canton?
This will be a second time, but first time after I lose all my superstar after, it might be a first time.
Okay, so yeah, pardon me, because I knew that I was not going to be 100% sure that you guys had or had not reached Canton 11 into the playoffs. But this year, you guys are so close. Another victory year, and you're pretty much there. What has worked this year for Canton 11?
But especially this year, like we have Naja Bhai come back at last minute, join the team, and Harry Bhai Farm came in the right time when team need him, and Ramzi bowling is a fabulous, Shakil Bhai batting excellent, So Adresh Bhai, so everybody looked like last 3 games whole this season we have no chance to be playoff, but somehow when Hawks lose by Motor City, we still not believe it is happened, That makes some room for us, Then we also lose the game against FCC Agni. It's easy game for us, 80 run to chase. Then we lost the game. We cannot chase it. But after that, we all sit down together. We talk about what we need to be accomplished. So we came to the plan. You know what I mean? We need to send a right batting order, like supposed to be. You know what I mean? We don't need to change batting order. The last 3 games, especially first game again, Motor City, we all out 55 or 59 runs. We are full steam, but we cannot click. Nobody click. You know, only Shakil Bhai stay in the wicket. That's all. But we ball very good. We managed to win the game. Then next game is we play with the Spartan. That game we don't have a full team. Half of my team went to play PCC Cup for the one-day tournament. Even we don't know anything about them until they done the game. We find out half of my team went over there. So somehow we managed Naja by batting click, and we win the game. And last game is a most win game for us. And Harry Bhai came the right moment, and we told him before the game, Harry Bhai, this is a game, you know what I mean? We must need to win. So Harry Bhai put all his experience, everything. He hit the ball all over the ground. You know what I mean? If we have few more ball, he can get a century, you know. He's a big hitter, you know. He came the right time, right form, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we've been talking.
When we score 173, we are full confidence. You know, we have a Ramsey bowler, we have a couple other bowlers. We know that we can defend it, you know, 173. Even they have Ali Bash. We know he can make a couple of sixes, but we still full confidence we can take the game away. It's 173 is enough, you know what I mean?
Yep. And you've been very humble not to call out yourself because you are the top wicket taker.
I'm just a regular bowler, you know. I'm just sportive. Whatever team leader we can, I come and take wicket. That's all, you know what I mean?
But yeah, I would definitely want to go to give a shout out to you. You know, I've seen you many years now. You know, holding the team together. You know, you are basically the linchpin which brings the team together. And with both bat and ball, you've been outstanding. Even this year, you're in the top wicket taker for your team, top 5 in the batting. So you're definitely, you know, leading by example. And Canton 11, and you're right, Canton 11 is peaking at the right moment. Apart from, you know, maybe the game against Indus Thunders would be another one. We
lose the game very close, you know. I mean, very close game we lost, you know. I mean, we should be win this game. We have 2 hours left by the game is over, you know. I mean, we should be win this game, you know.
Yeah, we thought that, you know, you guys would pull it off with the way it was going. But you know, at the last moment. And next question I have is Hawks. For Hawks, you guys have, you know, this is a newly formed team. Even though you guys have been playing for so long, you know, this is a newly structured team. Can you highlight, you know, what's changed this year, and you know how you guys have formed this team? Any light on that? Some of the players you have.
I think everyone is aware. Hawks. This is the first year. So. In DCL. So earlier we used to play like, you know, a couple of other leagues. We started our team in, you know, Drake Park during the COVID time. We found a couple of folks and some recent graduates and who recently moved to Michigan, and few other players who they doesn't get chances in DCL. So then we decided let's form a team, and we started playing other leagues. So if you see as a whole team, there is a big improvement in this year. So if you compare last 2 years, we are hardly win 1 or 2 matches out of, you know, 8 or 9 leagues. So 1 or 2 matches. Now at least we are giving a good fight, and we are winning. Like, you know, we already won like 4 games. A couple of games are very close, which we lose. So there is still improvement. As a team, we are getting stronger. Maybe the next year the result would be different. Like, you know, and now we won like 4 games. Maybe the next year it will be different. And a few other players in our team, they're in good touch in other leagues, not in DCL. So that is an unfortunate for us, you know. If they have clicked, and it would be good. And also one main thing, if you see the losing games, it's not because of batting or bowling, because of catches. If you see all the matches, what are the matches we lose? We drop like 4 to 5 catches. So otherwise, you know, our team, we're pretty much happy with the team's improvement. We are supporting some new players too. There are other players like, you know, one guy named is Harsha. He's a spinner. He just played only 1 game for us. Maybe in the next season he'll play more games. He needs he doesn't have practice with the T-ball, and a couple of players like Shashank V is an all-rounder. He moved from Illinois to here. He's a good all-rounder, so he's getting stronger. And we have Shashin. He's a lefty guy. He's doing good with leather ball, scoring like a couple of 40s and 50s. But this year he didn't do well with for us. In maybe the next match we'll see for Canton 11. He'll be making some good score. And we have other players like Tutu and Bablu. They're out of form, but I don't know, for DCL they're taking more pressure. They're giving more respect to DCL. That is the reason I think they're performing other tournaments very well. When it comes to DCL, I don't know. Maybe the players, the opposition, the opponents. That we need. It's kind of experience for us. So most of the players are playing their first season. Maybe the next season there will be a difference.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, I think knowing that it's your first season, I think that's definitely a very, very, very commendable job that you guys have done. So coming into this game, coming into towards the playoff, have you guys there's a question for both of us. Have you guys talked about your possibility of going into the playoffs and how you want to kind of because both of you guys have two games to go. And your last game is against a stronger team. For Canton 11, it's Sterling Strikers. For you guys, it's Thunders. So this is the make-or-break game. What kind of planning has gone into this game?
Yeah, this game, next two games are very tough games for us. One is with Canton 11, another one is the Indus Thunders. So right now the focus is only on the Canton 11 game because it's kind of knockout for us. So we have to win. So our plan is just if you're batting first, play all the 25 overs. Don't don't go behind the ball we should win. Don't worry about the result and all first. Just play very comfortably, peacefully. So build a partnership. That is the plan in the batting area. Maybe there would be some couple of changes in the batting order. When it comes to the bowling, so just don't go behind the wickets. Just focus on the dot balls. That is the simple plan. And especially, as I said, the catches. The catches are very crucial. Even the matches we won against the MI Rangers and the Sterling Strikers, it's not because of just, we scored 100. It's all because of the catches. We didn't even drop a single catch with Sterling Strikers match. So we want to repeat the same thing, especially with the fielding. If we give 100% in the fielding, then there would be more chances winning against the Canton 11. That is our plan. Just stick to the basics.
Okay. How about you, Javed Bhai? Any plans you guys have? I'm pretty sure you guys have.
Our plan is very simple, just play. For us, it's just like a final game, We're going to play like a champion, just like we play last three games, and play fearless. Play all 25 over and stick in the wicket, make partnership, and just do a simple thing, don't get panic. Especially good thing is we have a lot of experienced players like Ramzi, Harry Bhai, Shakil Bhai, Bilal, and there's a couple other players, Rupinder, So we have to put 100% of a best batting team for this game, And we also working on to qualify a couple of players. So we have to give other people a chance to at the same time for this game, but we have no choice. We have to make them 3 games, especially Chandan and Jiva. Jiva have 1 game left and Chandan have 2 games to play. So we have full confidence, everybody in the team, so we can win 100%.
Awesome. All right. Those are all my questions. I know I'm not going to hog all the time. Best of luck to both of you guys. Hope it's a cracker of a game. We are all going to follow it. Hope there is a link which you guys can send us so that we can see it online. But I'll let Viju and Vamsi go ahead with their questions.
Yep. Go ahead, Viju.
Yeah, I'm going to start with Naresh. Naresh, first time I'm seeing you. But I must say, Naresh, I think you're going to go back and look at it in case you don't make the playoffs. That Motor City game is probably the one which is going to really, really sting, because you win that game, and all of us had you guys beating Motor City. And that was the one game where you couldn't afford a letdown. And what went wrong in that game? other than catches, if it is catches.
Very first point is like, as I said, catches only. Other than catches, we didn't have enough runs on the board. The problem is they were Motor City. They are all like, so many medium bowlers. We had a little struggle playing those medium bowlers. So Sterling strikers, it was good pace bowlers. So we faced very well. So when come to the Motor City, it's totally different. So we were not able to handle those medium balls properly. So we played some wrong shots, like, ball is coming very fast. No, it's not, ball is not coming to the bat. You need to wait for the ball. So that we didn't do with the batting department. We failed completely. All 10 batsmen, not just one, all 10 we failed. And comes to bowling, we were doing good, but there were not enough runs on the board. The guy he scored 49. He got many chances. I think we dropped his catches, like 5 to 6 catches in the second over itself. He was about to out, but we dropped the catch. That is a sitter, and all our sitters, 4 to 5 catches are sitters. So still, we didn't forget that game. It's kind of nightmare for us, losing to Motor City. The way we didn't expect that, actually. And we were not overconfident. Every game, when we go now, every game, we don't worry about which team we are playing. So our focus would be give your 100%. Just stay. If you're batting first, stay 25. Play 25 overs. Bowling first, focus on your dots. That's our simple formula. So yeah, it doesn't matter which team you are playing. But on that day, it didn't work out for us. The main thing is only with the catches. I would still say catches only, though we didn't have enough runs on the board. Because of catches only, we lost the match.
Yeah, I mean, I can feel your pain, Naresh, because I experienced the pain last year against Strikers. So it's part of the game in the sense that you play great throughout the season, and then suddenly, you can't even score 60 runs. It becomes a nightmare scenario. But I wanted to say that on your team, you have the best stats in terms of economy rate. You have yourself, Vikram, and Shashank, if I'm not mistaken,
Shashank,
who are batting well. And I think with regards to the bowling, you and Vikram, obviously, Vikram has been all 9 games he has played. He's leading your wickets game in and game out. And he has a fantastic average. Most of his wickets, I noticed, was either bowled or LBW, telling me that he's bowling straight. But your economy rate is stumps to stump bowling. Yes. I mean, in the sense you miss it, you're in trouble. You're either going to be bowled or you're going to be LBW. So, but you have the best stats in terms of economy, 2.53. So the thing is that, now you're going into this showcase game. If you don't have Vikram Reddy, somebody else has to step in, because obviously you can only bowl 5 overs and you still need 20 overs. And so what's the plan of action for that?
To be frank, we don't have any bowler who can replace Vikram. So
it's impossible.
Impossible. So we need to treat fifth bowler as a part-timer. I need to pick 1 or 2, 3 players, part-timers, to finish those 5 overs. So that is the plan now. Treat this game as when we are bowling, treat this game as a 20-over game, not 25-over game. That is the plan.
The other thing is, Naresh, the thing is that, going into this game, I mean, again, you said that the next 2 games are tough games, and I'm not denying both those opponents are good quality opponents, both Canton 11 as well as Indus Thunders. But remember, Indus Thunders almost lost to Motor City, all right? And you're going against Indus Thunders is the last game, which is probably September 10th. And if I am not mistaken, the Mishka playoff starts at that time. So 100% they are not going to have their best team out there. So this game doesn't become your game against them is still open. But you can't even think about that game
Yeah,
until
exactly.
you can get past the until you get past the Canton 11 games, because this is the make or break game, in the sense that I still think that if you get 5 more points, you go from 21 to 26. I still think that there are mathematical possibilities, even though the possibilities might be remote. But still, the thing is that there are some possibilities, but it's still out there, in the sense that Canton 11 probably has the edge there, because in terms of points, they are slightly ahead. But having said that, you shouldn't lose hope, because that's the one thing which can hold you back, is your players still have to believe. And go and listen to the beginning of the show, because I talked about Malcolm Marshall and what Malcolm Marshall did. And so much so that even today, after all these years, Malcolm Marshall is dead and gone. But the thing is that even after all these years, it's considered one of the great heroic efforts for a man to do what he did on that particular day against England in the third test, in that blackwash series kind of a thing. So always remember that there is still an opportunity. You have to believe in it. It starts with the skipper. You have to inculcate that this thing in all your players, that, hey, let's give our best. Let's go, and then hope for the best, and then come out with a game plan. See if you can execute this thing, because you win the game, and then you go to the Indus Thunders game again. I think there are more opportunities than when Indus Thunders is full-fledged, because I don't think they will have their full strength. And also the other thing is, remember, Naresh, is that some of the bigger teams, they will not necessarily feel their best team, because they have to qualify players. Javed Bhai just talked about qualifying players. Glads, I know that we are going to play some players just to qualify players. So we are not going to put our best unit out there, simply because we have to qualify players. So I'm sure Indus Thunders faces the same situation. So I think you have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe that your team can do it, because anything is possible. All you need is one ball, and the wicket can be this thing. But I think you have led very well from the front. But again, I think for next year, if some of your players who are having this talent, if they can convert that talent into numbers where, if you're saying that they're performing in other tournaments, it's only in DCL, then it's all pressure rather than anything else. But tell us a little more about your team, so that there are many people who do not know. And that's one thing which we try to do in the show, is to bring out some of the things which you have learned about your players, and highlight that about the players, because, we talked about Hari Pallava, I talked about Shakil Ahmed, but I don't know too many of your players. I don't even know Vikram Reddy Golamari. I saw the interview afterwards, but I wished I was there under this thing, because I would have asked him a lot more insightful questions. But I did notice that, he was had a very high percentage of the wickets taken in terms of bowled and LBW. Yeah. So go ahead, and I want you to take this opportunity to introduce some of your other players and something special about your team to rest of DCL, because many people come and watch the show either live or later on, kind of a thing, most of it later on. So please tell us.
So we started a team. Our motto is like, support the players. First of all, the players who are not getting chances, or who is interested to play like a big tournaments, where they're expecting some platform to improve themselves. So if you see all our players, they haven't played DCL before. The reason nobody was giving some chances, even though few were in other teams, but they were not playing regularly. So our team is to support the player first. So whether he's a good player, star player, just keep it aside. So first support the player, like at least give a chance, like play 3 or 4 matches, so that he'll get a confidence. Next tournament, he'll play more matches. That is our main goal. So winning or losing is a secondary. So first is like support a player. That is our first motto. So the same thing. If you see our key person for the Hawks is one of the key person. His name is Harish. We call him as a Harry. So he does all the background work, like following up with the players, collecting the players, even taking care of all the logistics. He was the one who take care of all the stuff. So he was like earlier he used to give a lot of runs in the, let's say, I'm talking like, in the 2020 and 2021. Whenever he bowls, his economy was above 5 and 6, and he hardly gets some wickets. So now his economy is like under 4. He's getting wickets. He's one of the key bowler. If you see, he did it good in the middle overs. So he can break the partnerships, and he can take the wickets of well-settled batsmen. So he has some good variations that has been improved. So it's like, that is the specialty of Hawks, I would say, because he has been getting chances, and he's experimenting his bowling and everything. So that is the one key thing. And and another player, myself too, I don't do good with the batting and all. So I was considered as a bowler. Still, I'm considering myself as a bowler, just a bowler. Now, when I joined this team, when we formed this team, okay, there is some additional responsibility. Okay, you have to perform. You have to do something for the team, because there are no other batsmen. So because we are still finding the batsmen, and also we took a stand, myself and Vikram too. Actually, Vikram is a batsman. He said, he used to tell me, bro, I'm not a bowler at all. I never bowl, but only because of Hawks and our team situation, he's bowling. So once we get our good bowlers, like top 5 bowlers or something, regular bowlers, then Vikram may he may convert as a part-timer, because he's carrying a lot of burden, in the sense like in batting and the bowling, even on the field he controls the team, so he take good decisions and all. So he's kind of on the field captain. I'm just I'll do basic support. That's it. So in the controlling the players, he take care of all the stuff. And we have Shashin. He's a left-hander. He liked our team. There is an good rapport between the team players. And if you see all our games, we don't shout at any player, even if you drop catches. And we don't want to drop the catches, but still, if someone drops the catches, we support. Okay, let's forget about it. And that thing is there. So that feedback even we got. So it's missing from other teams too. That is what I heard. I feel good. Okay, at least we are supporting the players. At least there are few players are very interested to play for us, because we are supporting the players. So that that gives a confidence. Okay, let's win the game, and it gives just a play game and lose the game. No, let's take it next level at least. So now we are fighting for winning the games and all. Maybe the next year it would be some difference. Okay, Hawks is coming. We need to play carefully. Something there will be a change for sure next year. And as I said, Shashin, he's a lefty guy. He made little difference in our batting top order. Earlier, we don't have any good top order batsmen. When he joined our team, there was a good improvement in the top order. And one more guy is Tutu. His actual name is Siddhant, but we call him as Tutu. He's a good player too. But this season he's out of form. Hopefully for Canton 11, he likes Canton 11 very much. I think he played for Canton 11 too last year, one or two matches. So this year, I hope Tutu, you're listening. Hope you'll score some good runs for against Canton 11. And one more key player for us is Yashwant. He's a good middle order and a medium pace bowler. He's similar kind of bowling what Harry has. So both are our crucial bowlers in the middle. So he's doing good with both the bat and ball, and he has some. He give all the good suggestions in the on-field too. He has that, like Sachin used to tell, Dhoni used to give some ideas. So those kind of ideas he used to give us. And one of the player and another player is Shashank V. He came from Illinois. He was a good captain. I heard he won 6 finals in Illinois. He was a good. He joined our team, and he's supporting very much. And I didn't feel he as a new player. He's a good all-rounder. Maybe next season he'll be in the top in DCL. And one more guy, Gnana Vamshi. He's also from a different place. I think he's also from Illinois. He joined our team, I think, for last year, not last year. He played one of the SCC tournament for us. Then he continued with DCL, and he's also good addition for our team. And Bablu, he's out of form guy. We used to tease him, but he'll be Krishna. KK is laughing. KK knows about Bablu, so we are expecting him to be in the form, maybe for the Canton 11. It's just a hope.
No, the
we are positive.
The reason I laughed, Naresh, is you called him out of form guy, and you're going to face that wrath after the show.
No, we tease him. Like he needs to go somewhere like England or Australia to get some tips from batting. Something we used to make it fun. So he's a nice guy, and he's a good keeper too. And we have Rakshit. You all know about Rakshit. I think most of them. Rakshit, he's a good keeper, and he shows good energy in the game. And we have one more keeper, Sai Kiran. He's now in India. He's a good batsman and keeper too. And who else? Sorry if I miss anyone. Hawks, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I mean, every time you mentioned the name, I was actually going and clicking on their profile and looking at it. I must say that who is this? Shucks, let me see. The person you mentioned, Harish, I think. Harish is the person. Yeah, I looked at his profile. He has even entered his age and everything there. I mean, and I thought that was pretty special in the sense that his complete information is filled. He has a picture there and everything, kind of a thing. Because when Vikram Reddy Golamari caught my attention, I wanted to see how Vikram Reddy Golamari looks like, because I have not seen him, right? And all I see is number 45 picture, kind of a thing. Until he came on the show, I did not know what he looks like, kind of a thing. And so same thing, you were talking about one other player. I believe it was you were talking about Yashwant. Yes, he also has his age and everything. Not his age. It was one other player. I forgot. Anyway, it'll probably come to me. But Shashank, I think. Yeah, Shashank had his age and everything all put in there. So every time you mentioned something, I was actually going and looking at their profiles and looking at all the information, kind of a thing. But thank you for that very detailed information. Last year, I actually admire captains who come and do their job, because last year we had Javed Bhai, and I even earlier in the show I mentioned, last year Javed Bhai took Hari Pallava's help, and Hari Pallava prepared a write-up, and Javed said, well, I'm not a big speaker, but you know what, I'm going to read out everything which Hari Pallava did. It doesn't matter which way you do it, as long as somebody takes that effort and the pain, that's how it gets started, because of that one person's effort. I'm telling you, genuinely, Naresh, when Glad's formed, I formed with just 4 or 5 players, because we didn't have a team. And I went and begged 3 teams to join them, and they wouldn't take us. And so we started with scratch, with absolutely nothing. So the moon is the possibility if you're willing to put in that hard work. And so I wanted to encourage you on that. Yeah. But somebody else had some more questions. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot to mention a few other players too. Amar and Anwar, they play for different teams. But they like Hawks. They said, you guys have some good rapport between us. It's kind of friendly environment. You're supporting the players. So we want to play you. So then we welcome them, and they are playing for us. Even Vidya and SRT, he didn't get many chances. I think he played 2 matches. So sorry, SRT. Maybe if you feel maybe next year, you'll get more chances. There are some other tournaments too. No. His name is Sudhir. I don't know about RT. Sachin Tendulkar, no. And one of the main all-rounder we missed this year is Pawan. Due to some reasons, he is not playing for us this year. Maybe next year, we'll see. And we'll come back more stronger. And the total focus is on Canton 11 match. Hope we'll win. We'll give our 100%.
That's good. That's good, because we want the skippers to be pumped up because
Yeah.
I remember Rahul Chenna came and Kaushik came, and Rahul was very clear. We want to get Kaushik Chipudi into our kitty. Okay, I really like that statement. That I still remember that line even today. You get my point? That I want to get Kaushik Chapudi into my kitty. You see, so I use that line immediately to challenge Kaushik Chapudi. That hey, look, he wants to get you into the kitty. I mean, you're going out there, you're spending 4 hours or 4.5 hours. You might as well put every effort. I remember once going and seeing a player. He was very, very good. And I still remember his name. His name was Amjad Khan. And that guy wouldn't play. And he was a very good player. But the problem was he had no motivation. The weather was cold. Obviously, his team made the playoffs. And he refused to play the playoffs because the weather was cold. And I still remember, you might wonder why I made Satya skipper of Glads when I left. Actually, the very first year he came, he played for us, and the weather, that was the coldest weather I have ever played in Michigan. And when Satya came back from, he was out in the deep and he took 3 great catches. And those, when that weather is that cold, every time the ball hits your hand, it hurts like crazy. When he came back, his face was red because the weather was that cold. And I looked at it and I said, man, that is some degree of commitment. But I wanted to go to Javed. Javed bhai, very crucial game. You guys have the inside track. At this point, if I had to guess who's going to make the playoffs, I have you guys as making the playoffs. I didn't have it that way before, but it had to be great leadership. And that's one thing which I've always admired about you, was that it's a leadership of a different kind. All right. So there is one type of leadership where, you know, it is a forceful leadership. Yours is more of a, hey, let's sit down and let's talk and let's try to come up with some sort of this thing. So it's more of a inclusive leadership, but it is definitely a different leadership style. But as long as it gets the job done, it doesn't matter what leadership style you employ. It is, each person has got their own strengths and weaknesses. Tell me about this team. What has impressed you the most? Because you lost so many good players, as you said, superstar players and things like that. Nevertheless, that did not stop you from beating Sterling Strikers last year in a phenomenal game where Mohammad Ramsey had a game of a lifetime kind of a thing. So tell me something about this year's team. By the way, what happened to Mittu Bhai? I don't see him. I mean,
Mittu Bhai lost. He played like a 7-8 game. It's not his form so far this year. We still want to give him a chance, but it's not clicking somehow. And he's got some good catches for the team to get, but he's out of touch right now. You know, that's the only reason, you know. But he's a good player, he's a good hitter. When he sticks around the crease, he can damage opposite team, you know what I mean? But it's not a good form right now. So we'll let him sit probably tomorrow game and Saturday game as well, you know.
Okay.
But he already qualified for playoff anyway, you know.
Yeah. No, I didn't see him, so that's why I asked, because whenever I think of Najid and Mittu Bhai, it is like their crazy hitting, which is like until they are back in the pavilion, I know this game is can be very much out of reach, because if they get going, oh my goodness. But now the problem is we have to worry about Hari Pallava too. I mean, I haven't seen this kind of this thing, but it was a phenomenal inning. So again, I didn't want to stop you from answering your question. Tell me what is special about this team this year.
It's the same team, basically, just only one or two, basically all same player. Nothing, only one player changed, rest all same team. Only different is Najabai came back this year, and rest of the same team. Adresh, Ramsi there, myself, Abrar Bhai, Shakir Bhai, you know, same player, nothing changed, you know, I mean, nothing changed. Only thing is people are performing, they bowl very good, they bowl line to line, follow the instruction we give it to them, you know what I mean? And Harry Bhai is a support player, you know, he's a big help for this team, you know what I mean? Anytime we short player, and Harry Bhai bring all the player, whatever we need for the team. And whatever we need for the team, Harry Bhai always is the man, you know what I mean? He take care of everything, you know what I mean? He do unbelievable. I'm so lucky. I always said to Harry Bhai too, I'm so lucky I have Harry Bhai, you know. so much respect this guy. I mean, he works so hard for the team. So hard, poor guy.
Can we expect fireworks when Canton 11 plays Sterling Strikers?
Everybody waiting for this game. Everybody. I got a 20 people, 25 people roster, and I got a call from everybody. They say they can sit playoff game, but they don't want to sit this game. They must want to play with a Sterling Striker. I told them, let us win this game, first one game at a time. Then anybody can play. Me and Harry can sit outside. You guys can play. We need to
Because
game,
I know how much the interlying dynamics are, and they have great players in the form of Raza, and Ali Abbas is I don't know. I really like Ali Abbas as a person.
Right. They have
he seems to be
they
have a very good team, and now Jawad is the skipper. Though I think Jawad made some mistakes in the Michigan Cup, but nevertheless, they have Jawad, and I don't think Mansab will play. But the thing is that they're gonna bring entire team.
You forgot Hyder.
But here's the problem. Mansab has an F40 game, and his team is number 1 in F40. So I don't see him missing that game to come for your game. So I don't think
they qualify. Even they qualify already.
Yeah, he's already qualified. But I know that you guys are all looking forward to that game. It's like there is one team which you're sitting up for. Thinking, okay, we want to play that game, and we want to beat that team. So I know how special it is. So that's why I asked you that question right away, kind of a thing. But Parthiv, you had some question. Go ahead. I didn't want to stop.
I was going to say there are the former Canton 11 players you would be facing off. Hyder Bhatti is there. Obviously, Raza Ali is there. So all those guys are going to be, you guys must be getting ready to give them a welcome treat.
Vamsi, you had some questions?
Yes, to both of them. Naresh, I have only one question to you. I've heard a rumor that you are one of those bowlers who took 6 wickets in 6 balls in 1 over.
No, not in 1 over. That is entire 4 overs.
Okay.
First of all, how do you get such rumors? I want to know that.
No, actually, there was Harry made one video. He just he cropped all the entire video, and he made into one video, single video with all the 6 balls. So maybe everyone thought it's 6 balls, 6 wickets. No, I'm not that kind of bowler.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
But by the way, Naresh, I do not know if you know there is a guy who took 6 balls, 6 wickets. Am I right, Dinesh Pandeti?
Yes.
Yeah, that too in Drake Park. I saw that video. I think.
You saw that video? Okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to say that there is. If you don't believe that that's a possibility, it's a possibility because Dinesh did take 6 balls, 6 wickets. So, but I don't know. Vamsi, that Dinesh Pandeti over which he bowled to you guys in Michigan Cup, I thought that was a top-notch over, fantastic over. It was a maiden wicket. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll tell you something. I have not seen Dinesh bowl with that pace in the last 1.5 years. I played with him. And I kept when he's bowling. I'm not seeing that guy bowl with that raw pace. And he did. I agree with me. After the game when we, caught up, he told me that yes, he wanted to bowl because he's actually suffering from a back injury. And for the next 3 weeks,
I don't believe that. I don't believe that because that kind of pace which he was generating.
Yes, the sciatic nerve, he's suffering a lot. He's having ice packs and playing the games because he had committed to the team earlier. But now the next 3 weeks, he's not going to play much games, which means Naresh, most possibly he'll not be playing your game too.
Okay.
But
I mean, he's the F40 skipper, so I'm pretty sure he's not going to be playing. And Indus has plenty of options. So
Yep. So that was.
So you were saying Yeah. So no, you were talking about your game, that particular game. I don't know, something about that about the Pandeti over.
Sheer pace. He just wanted to make sure that they get into the finals.
Okay.
There is one thing, right? And also even though folks do not mention it, Dinesh has not mentioned it, but we can see it when a team from a mid-level pool comes in. They're competing with you, they're winning against you. It's a matter of pride for any team.
It might also be when he saw your face, he wanted to beat the hell out of you.
Oh yes,
that could also be the case. You see.
Then more than the ball that got me bowled, the second ball of the over, which was bowled outside the off stump, I've seen that ball just pitched in the hitting zone and then bounce off like crazy at that pace. You don't see that every day, and that was a great challenge.
Yeah. But did you have any question for Javed?
Yes.
Where?
So Javed bhai, whenever he comes to the ground, he always has a huge smile on his face. He welcomes everyone with open arms. It's always great to see you on the field and now on the camera too, Javed bhai.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I have one question.
Thank you.
We played against Canton 11, right? I played, that was I think the fourth game of the season for FCC, which I played against Canton 11. And in that game, I somehow saw Shahbaz Chitti playing at number 11, your batting order all jumbled up, right? And, even in the bowling area, I've seen multiple people taking charge on the field. It was like having 7, 8, 9 captains on the field.
Right, I agree.
So
we change everything, after the game, we change everything,
I mean, I haven't even gone to bat, but, I was sitting separately from the team, because I was on some phone calls and I was sitting and I was keenly observing what is going on inside the field. So, it was the first 20 overs or 18 overs. I've seen there are so many captains on the field controlling, right? That is one thing which I observed. So that is what I was about to ask. Did you make any changes after that, or is it just one other game?
Yeah, we changed it. We did Shahbaz to give a chance of captaincy, but it does not work out. So I just take over, basically, because players not happy and some bad decision in the ground, especially at FCC. That game is an easy win for us. Changed the entire batting order, lost the game, After that, we said no more. That's enough, We cannot do any favoritism, because some people playing with him with the leather ball, so they're given batting order first, so they can play Sunday game. That's not gonna work, You come to play DCL, we need to focus on only DCL. It's got nothing to do with the Mishka, So we change everything, So last 3-4 games we play very good,
Okay, so you are saying that, you gave over the captaincy in the middle of the season to someone else and it was not working, so you took complete control of it back.
Yes, me and Harry take over the control, yes.
Okay. Because Harry is a pretty decent bowler and I've not seen that guy bowl in the first half of the tournament. But at least it's good to see him score runs in this game, because when he gets going, I've seen him score 60s or 70s in the leather ball, but in the T ball, I think this is the first of sorts I've seen him hit those many number of sixes. Because when he made a debut to DCL, he was playing along with me, in our team.
Right.
For about 2 years or so, we played together. So I know him pretty well. That's one thing. And what's happening with the Ramsey? How is he taking so many wickets?
He's very unlucky, be honest with you. Last 2 games, he did not take any wickets. We give him full 5 over each game. He's got a couple of catches dropped. He's very unlucky last 2 games. He did not, even my ball, a lot of catch drop. He's very unlucky in the last 2 games. He did not get any wickets, He bowled line to line. That's the key.
Okay. So a couple of games back, right, when we were looking at where Canton 11 is standing with respect to our pool A, right? We did not even count you into getting into the playoffs. We had Hawks on our list. Then we had probably MI Rangers or Canton 11 on the list. But Hawks lost a crucial game to who was it?
Motor City.
Yes,
Motor City. Yeah.
And yes, you won against MI Rangers, right?
And Motor City.
And so things
Spartans.
changed a lot. Now I believe you are in the driver's seat. And did you talk to your team about not messing up this time around?
Right. We talk about we are everybody in the same page. That's a must-win game for us. Just like a final for us. So all the planning is done. Team is done. Finalized. So we're gonna put our best team in this game.
Mhm. And that is one of the reasons, both you captains are called on to the show today. The reason is, for both of your teams, it is like a knockout game. And more
Right.
importantly, for you need at least a point, minimum a point from this game. Whereas Hawks, I'm sure that they are looking for all the 5 points.
Right.
Right. So this
True.
actually makes it the contest of the week. This is rightly called as the showcased game of the week. That is what I can say. So it is called as the showcase game of the week. Give us the showcase game of the week. Play it as
Yes,
the
we
showcase
do.
game.
Yeah, play as a sportsmanship. Yeah, that's not a problem.
Yep. And
I hope we got some good umpiring this week. That'd be nice. Just like last year, we have you and Malku came in to do the umpiring. I hope we got one of the best umpires came for this game. Hopefully, committee can recognize, this is a win game for each team. So hopefully they can send the best umpire for this game. For both teams.
Javed Bhai, you need great umpires, not just for this game, because this is actually for both of you teams. Playoffs is starting this week, actually.
Correct.
Not 3-4 weeks from now. It's actually starting this week. But you need great umpires this game, but you also need great umpires for the strikers game, because that will be that is like World War III, So you'll have there'll be every decision which will be scrutinized.
Yeah, and we just remember this, last time when Canton Sterling strikers played, the last year, right? It was me and Maulik on the realm of umpiring.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, excellent umpiring,
And it was the first half an hour, the players were given clear warning, one more warning, you're out of the game.
Okay.
Right.
And after that,
Both
the next
teams have
3.5 hours, the next 3.5 hours, the teams, the way they conducted, you would be very much surprised.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent umpiring,
Anyway, I wanted to wish both of you the very best of luck. Remember, the game is not over until the fat lady sings, until the last ball is bowled. So the very best of luck. Thank you for coming. This is the best, most critical game of all the DCL games this week. I want to wish, there are a number of critical games, but I think this is the number one critical game. At least that's how all of us felt. That's how we voted. So good luck to all of both of your teams. May the best team win. We'll be cheering both of your teams to go out and give us a show. And Javed Bhai, do you broadcast your game? Because I would love to watch this game if there was a broadcast.
Yeah, we will try. I will ask Harry Bhai Adresh to broadcast this game.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll arrange, bro. Or we can ask Harry. Harry is always
there's a guy named Vijay Shanmugam. He promised me, and not just Vijay Shanmugam, the guy who is partner with me. Who is it, Parthiv? Who's the guy partnering with me? Gaba, Satish Gaba. Satish Gaba and Vijay Shanmugam promised me, and they didn't do any broadcast. So I still hold it against those two guys. So guys, please broadcast. I actually like to watch the showcase game of the week, so I make it a point to watch it. So if you guys do broadcast it, please pass it along.
Bro, one last thing I would like to share.
Please do.
I would like to thank my captain Imtiaz. So he was the one who trusted me, and who he had a belief. So he gave many chances. So that is where I improved as a bowler. So
who is Imtiaz? Who is Imtiaz?
He's playing for Stars.
Yeah,
Imtiaz. Imtiaz. That Imtiaz. He's a fantastic guy.
Yeah,
he's a great umpire too.
I
remember your name from Blazers, but then the thing was that I was not connecting that and this kind of a thing. But yes, no. I like Imtiaz. Imtiaz is one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah. So it's still it's always I'm missing playing with him. So, but some reasons it's like we had a good rapport there. So we formed a team. That is the reason we moved out. And also, bro, I heard personally, the Hawks, we bought the team from, we paid some money to Kings 11. I hear some news. It's not that actually, Vikram, he played for Kings 11 last year. Then they decided to play some leather ball leagues. So they don't want to continue Kings 11. Then we took their team and we renamed as Hawks. So that is how the team came. So I just want to clarify.
No, I agree with you because in the current DCL, nobody is paying anybody any premium to buy a team. But there was 3 years ago, not 3 years ago, about 5 years ago, when I was still in the committee, DCL's popularity was at such an high. Actually, believe it or not, I was the DCL treasurer, and I collected $1,000 for 2 lottery teams. And we had, I think, about 65 teams or something like that who paid me $1,000 a piece. So in other words, I got $65,000. The understanding was that if you don't get the lottery, then we will return your $1,000 back. But we wanted only people who were really interested to apply for the lottery. So we put a high bar, and we thought that $1,000 would be a good enough bar for somebody to overcome. And believe it or not, we got about $65,000, and I had to return $63,000 back. So at that time, there were teams purchased by paying premium, but now that is not the case. So you would be right in that.
Yeah, but I think it's good. It's a good forum to quash the rumors.
Bro. So I just want to clarify.
Thanks. That's good. Yep, I know we are getting into beyond time, but and I think one part of the reason is, you guys did a fantastic job introducing your team and talking about some of the plans. I think we were all intrigued with that. So I think the 15-20 minutes were well spent. Again, thank you so much for coming to the show and talking about your teams. Best of luck for the game. And I'll be signing out for this week. Looking forward for the next 2 weeks as we enter into the playoffs. And I think we'll also be talking next week about our plans for the DCL draft, the IPL style DCL auction. So stay tuned for that as well. So until then, good night, everyone, and take care.
Thank you so much, everyone. Appreciate it. Good night.
All right,
Good night.
bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.